You are on the punchline with James Dominguez. Kelly Pavlik's not here today. He got Matt Lauer a little bit earlier for saying some girl had some big giant titties, so he will not be with us. I'm actually kidding, guys. He's running a little late with traffic. He'll be here in about 3 minutes, so don't everybody just hang up on the show right now thinking Kelly's not going to be here. So, let's go ahead and start. I'm having trouble. I can't see on my screen. Can you?
It does be your laptop.
Yeah, it's my laptop.
You can keep talking.
Yeah, so big fights this weekend, guys. And if you have any questions about the fights, let me know. What's going on, you know, with Spence. Let's start. We have Spence and Peterson this weekend, and Easter and Fortuna. Good fights. I honestly thought that Fortuna had beaten Easter fairly by at least 4 rounds. Could be wrong, but I thought Easter lost that fight. And right now, I think Easter's a sitting duck for any one of the top 10 guys in the sport right now. Is it
Yeah, if you scroll.
Okay. I think Easter's a top 10, you know, loss for anybody in the sport right now. I don't think he's what's advertised. But we have some awesome guests today. Joe Goossen from 10 Goose Gym. One of the biggest trainers ever in the sport. Trained everybody from the Royals brothers to Michael Nunn to James Toney. The list goes on. Diego Corrales. The list goes on and on. So yeah, I mean we have a lot of things. We even have the great Andrew Hartley coming on today to talk about Charlie Z with us. We said that we would make sure that Andrew Hartley and Charlie Z would get their just due, and we will make sure that Charlie Z gets his just due. So, yeah. So we're looking forward to the show today, and we're going to have a lot of things happen today. If you look behind us, there's no green screen. I think we want to try our new chalkboard out. So we want to go 5th grade on you guys, so that's what we're doing.
Stephen Connor on YouTube says, "What's going on, Jane?"
Tell him I said hi. How are you doing, Stephen? Yeah, I mean, everything's going good. Show is a little different not having Kelly here for getting Matt Lauer, but hey, he'll be here, and he's unapologetic about it, so.
Should make him bring us coffee since he's late.
Shauna, hello. I hope your foot gets better, love. Your foot's been having you trouble for 2 years. Hi, Rebecca. What do you think of Spence's mandatory? Carlos Campo. You know, Isaac, I don't have no problem with it. I mean, you have to fight the mandatories, and not every fight's going to be a hard fight. There's just no way you can do it. Your career would be over in 3 years. 2 years if you fought every hard fight, you know? And terrible game plan from Lamont, Mr. Hunter. Why sit the pocket with the young guy? I agree, Steven. I agree with you when you said that on your post. It was a terrible game plan. But I think what he was trying to do was get that respect from, I think he was trying to get respect from him because I think somewhere in his heart of hearts, he knew that he was going to get ran over by Errol Spence. I mean, they've sparred multiple times. You know from sparring how strong somebody is. And I think that's what they knew that was their only option. James Lee, how you doing, James? How you doing, Mr. Lee?
Oh, I think I hear the chat.
And here we're having Matt Lauer, Kelly Pavlik. I told him you weren't coming in. You got Matt Lauer.
I did. Traffic.
Matt Lauer. I said you said some chick got some big fucking titties. He got kicked off the show.
Hi, y'all.
Look at our new chalkboard.
I see it.
It's awesome.
Hi, everybody. Yeah. What's up, Vato?
Stephen Connor says he's putting shoes in the mail to send you guys.
He's put what?
Shoes in the mail.
Oh yeah, to get signed. I remember that.
He says, once again, thanks for the opportunity.
Yeah. I remember that. You know what? Everybody in the world knows when our show is. All our friends do, right? And what does fucking Ricky Funes does? He calls me right during the show.
Does he?
Yeah, but he's not.
Yeah, he likes.
He's not calling to talk about the show. He's calling to bullshit about something else. Hey, when are you gonna send me this or buy me that or?
He likes doing that when the show's on.
Yeah,
he knows.
Shauna, I will cut your foot off so you can't get loose when I come over to your house. I think Spence looked real good again. Probably the best in division. I can't argue with that, Michael. I would like to, but right now I can't argue with the facts on that he may be the most dominant guy out there right now.
I totally agree.
You know,
and I'd like to tap on something here in a minute.
Okay.
When I gotta get in a talk show mode. The shit going around now already on Facebook and other and Twitter and all the other shit that he's on PEDs. PEDs, as we like to say. Whatever, I mean, it's fucking ignorant to certain people. Again, like I put in a big thing with Damon Martinez, I said, yes, people in sports use PEDs, and yes, I believe that a good amount of fighters have and still do use them.
Of course, yeah.
But, and I'm not, by no means am I like totally taking away that Spence, because my luck, like, no, he didn't. They turn back around in a week and find out he was. Yeah. But I'm saying the first thing you're going to jump to, instead of giving a guy credit for how good he looked in there and doing what he was supposed to do, and took out a game Peterson the way he did, and he showed everything in that fight. He got hit. Oh, everybody's like, oh, he gets hit too much. Listen, people that say that are simple people that don't know boxing. He was fighting that way because he was going for the knockout. He was looking for the big shots, and he still only got hit, that I've seen, 2, 3, maybe 4 clean punches. Okay, he was picking a lot of them off, and the 2 punches he got, the one that he got hit with was pretty good, and he didn't even get phased by it. The guy is the legit real deal, and instead of giving him his fucking credit, the first thing you want to do, like literally 8 hours later in the morning, is wake up and tell everybody that you think he was on fucking steroids, because a guy can't train his ass off in training camp. A guy can't work his fucking ass off and diet and do all this shit and make himself a fucking machine in there, because if they do that, then they're cheating. I
will say this. Todd Harlib, one of Spence's cutmen that spent many years with him as a cutman, rest his soul, you know, he left us a couple years ago, said that Errol Spence was the hardest working guy other than Floyd Mayweather in boxing. Kid trained 6 days a week, 7 hours a day. And that's out of fight when he's not fighting.
Oh, dude, I mean, I get a little offended by that because I was about 7 hours a day.
I know, but no one pays attention to you, Kelly.
Yeah.
They didn't have social media like they do now to keep track of your life. You know what I mean? But Josh Turner said you were on PDs. I said, yeah, people's dick. No, but it says Ricky Fuda, I love you bitches. I love you too, bro. Rick.
You call back in a few minutes and chat if you want.
Yeah, call us back a little bit and chat. Gina Davis joined. Oh, Gina. She just don't know what she does.
Gina,
you don't know what you do.
You're so fine, you blow my mind. Hey, Gina.
We start Gina Davis?
She said she got us a suite in San Antonio for us to come watch the fights next month. I was like, really? No. But Marissa, she does Bible study. I like Marissa a lot. Rest in peace, Todd. They were saying he looked sharp. It surprised me. What did it surprise you, Josh? I mean, you didn't see what everyone else saw for the past since 2012?
Now, hold on. I got to make an announcement. Billy Lau texted me.
Oh, no. What did that degenerate say?
The next day. He agreed now. He goes, you know what? I have to give it to you. He's like, you know, I'm just totally sold on Spence now. I mean, he is the real deal. He's easily number 1 or 2.
After he drug him through hell and back, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that's... Kelly, who are you going to in the Wilder fight? Who are you going with? I think Pete wants to know.
Oh, Wilder.
Wilder. You know, I was saying Joshua at first, but let me tell you why I'm changing. I think Wilder needs to lose a little bit of muscle. I think he needs to cut a little weight before he gets in there.
Because you're coming on my side now. And
I said what he needs to do. But I said if he doesn't do those things, Wilder will beat him.
After the pinpoint prediction I made in the Spence fight.
You made it! I made that fucking pinpoint prediction.
I said rounds 5 through 7.
So did I.
No, you didn't. You said you did not. You said the early rounds and up to 5.
No, I did. I said 1 to 5. Right?
Did he not say?
I'm gonna have to play back the video.
Wait a minute.
You said maybe early rounds.
Listen. I was off on the rounds, but I was right about the outcome that he would totally dominate and run through this fucking guy.
But I said right between 5 and 7, and Harry Peterson got dropped in the 5th and then quit in the 7th.
That's why we can have nice shit on this show. Fuck.
I'm 100% right. I did call it.
Bro,
I did it on Facebook too.
Oh, but I don't get...
Who someone was it Lonnie? Somebody messaged in that day and
Yeah.
said stop. They said stoppage in the 7th.
Yeah, it was Lonnie. It was Lonnie.
Was it
Lonnie.
Lonnie? He called it right on.
But
But
no, I didn't get no
Lonnie.
credit for being right about Lomachenko. Picking that fucking.
Oh, you did?
Down.
Oh, I gave you credit. My God. What do you want? You want to get you to start getting medals?
I'll go back to what it is and we'll play. We'll play.
No, I'm not denying.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm not denying. I said it'd be over by the 5th, 1 through 5th. But I said how it would end. That Peterson be ran the fuck over.
He was. I mean, and that's why I go back on. Spence did everything. I mean, he showed everything in that fight, and if he did get, that's because of the style that he was fighting for that period of time.
Yeah, Isaac Parker is just waiting for somebody to take that belt. But you know what? We're going to get back to the Peterson Spence fight. Let's talk about Easter and Fortuna. I think this Fortuna could have beat Easter that night. You know what I mean?
That fight to me, I mean,
did you watch it, Justin? Dude, did you see that shit? This dude literally is holding a belt for anybody in the top 20.
Yeah, that's that. I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't like knocking any guys that fight, especially when they're fighting for a title. But that right there is a give me for Mikey. I mean, we'll just give him the belt. Give Mikey, was it the IBF? Give him the belt.
Just give it to him.
Yeah.
Give it to him, and Mikey can pay the step over fee. You know what I mean?
You put that on as a co-main event. You at least have one guy shine in that fight. You know,
Dude.
but neither did.
Yeah,
And then what's this bump-headed ass, sweaty ass fucking idiot say? Send me Linares and Mikey Garcia. For what? To fucking kill you? I mean, at what point do you just count your losses and realize you're not as talented as you think you are?
Yeah. Now, how did you have that fight?
I had it 16-12
For
Fortuna.
I can definitely see that. I can see it. I had a
Wait,
little.
the penalty point? Yeah, that penalty point like round.
You know what? I forgot. So yeah, 17-13.
Yeah, I had it around close.
15-13 I have it. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I forgot. Because that was a bullshit call. The guy lowers his head when he comes in. How do you...
Now, you know what? That is a good point there. I personally, those were behind the head. And okay, if it's a low, if you get a warning for hitting somebody on the leg or a low blow,
Yeah.
okay, that would have been too soon to take a point. But man, boxing is brutal as it is. Back of the head shots are no joke, and they weren't little I mean, those were some hard punches to the back of the head.
Yeah.
And you know what? You gave a warning on that, and I think that should be. I wasn't upset about that point being taken away.
No, not at all.
I mean, it was a second warning, but they took a point. But punching somebody in the back of the head like that that's dangerous.
Is it
That one
dangerous?
right there when they took the point away, but there were times. I mean, he was. They were calling some of the stuff. I mean, he was latching around and holding. I mean, he was holding around and hitting the back of the head inside. I mean,
Yeah, he was.
He was gripping him good too. It was almost like he was wrestling.
By the way, guys, Matt Brown was on one of the MMA shows with Robert last night, and he wanted to tell everybody hello.
Cool.
And give him a shout out, and their show gave us a shout out, which I thought was fucking pretty badass because they don't have to do that. You know, so they want to put our banner up there. I told him, yeah, why not? But it was Robert Stimerson, and he set up. So I want to thank him for it. Also, Pete said Easter looked bad. He got booed at Barclays. That's not hard to do. Everybody gets booed at Barclays, don't they?
Yeah, I'm going to show you guys a simple. Tell me if I'm on the screen still.
You're on screen. Go ahead.
The breakdown of the Spence and Peterson fight.
All right. I knew you were going to break the chalk, you having handed oath.
And we had a wide out, a wide out. It was kind of a formation with split receivers, okay? Spence was throwing punches from every angle. Every angle. And then a couple slant routes he even landed. This would have been his left hand, was coming straight in the slant, catching constantly. And then, when he got to land those quick little overhand rights, he came back with a little couple uppercuts. And the defense of Peterson got 2 free safeties, cornerbacks.
Quarterbacks, 2-3 linebackers in there.
Yeah, they lined up. One came up. to the line.
Playing that bare front.
And he tried blitzing. This guy came in and tried blitzing Spence. But Spence did a good move. He came back, a little drop back, and then boom, countered it. And
right up the center.
It was a great breakdown of it.
They said Easter's the new Paul Williams. Hell no, Pete. Paul Williams was a fucking great fighter.
Nobody like my motherfucking breakdown? Yeah.
He was a good fighter. He was not Easter and Paul Williams. You can't compare the two.
Paul Williams, you can't. That's an insult to Paul Williams.
You guys want to come to Wilder after party? I think Wilder probably won't like us. Well, let's not forget Fortuna disrespected the fight game for not making weight. Well, I mean, there's a lot of shit that's there's a lot of shit out there that's disrespecting the fight game. But you know what? I think the $10,000 he paid out pretty much gathered his respect back. You know, that's on the fighter. It hurt only him.
Dude, Josh Turner, I'm sorry. He goes, Dominguez got blitzing on his t-shirt.
Oh yeah, this is the Slayer Christmas shirt from Slayer.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and I found it. I had it for years and found it.
Yeah,
I said, you can wear a Slayer shirt any time of the fucking year, right?
Yes, you can.
That's a rule.
That is. But
yeah. Well, they're talking about what do you think about Easter or what were they saying here? Thurman and Spence. Well, Thurman needs to pack it up too.
I agree. Who's Aaron Hart? Is that who's
that's our comedian.
Oh. We gonna talk to her?
Yeah, I'll give her a call back.
Okay. Thurman, I'm sorry, I'm not going to say anything bad, but Thurman's obviously a good fighter. I'm just not really sold on him being that good. I'm sorry, I don't see anything. He hasn't, impressed me. I don't think he's that good. I mean, I think if he was in a different weight class that was a little less star-studded, I would say he would be definitely a world champion for a long time. But I don't see him beating Spence. I don't see him beating Porter. Well, I don't.
We just had a crazy call from Comedy Central's Aaron Hart.
Oh,
she's a big-time comedian, guys. She's Comedy Central's Aaron Hart. She does sketch comedy. I guess she's calling us out of nowhere. We did not expect a call today, so should we just answer it?
Yeah. Fuck you, Ricky. We're the 10 Goose boxing shirts. Dicks.
He said he's going to send us some, but we know how that goes.
Yeah. You're lucky we love you. Hello?
Hi, James. This is Erin.
Hi, Erin. You're on the Punchline with Kelly Pavlik and James Dominguez. How are you?
Hey, good. How are you guys?
Hi, Erin. How you doing?
Good.
Hey, would you stop trying to steal my thunder? I was just trying to hit on this woman, and you fucking get hi, Erin, all sexy and shit. Like, hi, Erin, how are you?
Hey, hon, dump the zero and date a hero.
Okay. So I'm trying to picture who's who. I hear Kelly is the deeper voice.
Yes, Kelly has a deeper voice.
Yeah, I got a man's voice.
Man's voice.
Mm-hmm.
I got a man's body though, a big one, big body.
Nice.
So what's going on?
Just another day in SoCal here. It's nice and hot.
Yeah.
Well, Erin, I was singing your praises about how funny you are. You're a big-time comedian, and tell us about yourself.
Well, I've been doing stand-up for about 15 years now. Oh my God, time is going by fast. I do mostly in Southern California, but I've done the Cleveland Comedy Convention or the festival out there. I've done Hawaii. My comedy is mainly about stripping, which was my past career. Also being a mom, and I grew up in northeastern Ohio, so I talk about growing up cold.
Yeah. Well, we got a heat wave
cold
today. It's 42 degrees, so.
Dang.
Yeah, I almost went out and got a tan.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what that means, though? As soon as the sun sets, freezing rain.
So, Erin, you were talking to us about, well, I was not talking to us. You weren't talking to Kelly. You were talking to me. I was reading about on your YouTube about you stripping on the day shift. Can you tell us about that? Because that was absolutely fucking phenomenal.
Well, it's always when, like, I started stripping in, like, 1994, and then I stripped past my prime, and when you strip past your prime, they don't fire you, which is really nice. You know, because you would think like they're going to be like, it's time to go, Diamond, you're getting old. But no, it's not. They're very nice that way. They just kind of move you to day shift. You know, they're like, you really shouldn't come in at night anymore. Maybe lunch is your calling. And you're like, oh, all right, see you noon. You know? And then like night strippers, like, you're so young and hot, and you have like this ego, and you just show up. You're like, here I am. Like, you want to dance? And you know, the guys are like, oh my god, they're so hot. Yeah. But like day strippers, like we've already had kids. You know, we're like thinking about.
There's nothing worse than a cocky stripper.
Oh, I know. They're the worst. Yeah. I just love it when they get old. I'm like, oh, thank God, you're here now. But like, day strippers are, you know, they mostly are moms trying to just, you know, like, make it and, you know, give their kids a better life. And so they're just like, they'll like sit and talk to you like, oh my God, how's your wife? Did she get the promotion? Are we going to do the VIP later? You know, things like that.
Yeah, so. Strippers today are C-section strippers.
Oh my God, have you seen the asses on the strippers now?
Yeah, they look like moons, like full fucking, like huge.
I ain't been to a strip club.
Yeah, it's all Kim Kardashian out there. I was like, what?
Where at?
What happened? Well, out here at least, they're all getting butt implants.
All the ones over here got 2 kneecaps.
I had some guy tell me the other day when they first started the butt implants that they look like 2 tires on the back of the butts, but they've perfected it now. I was like, well, thank God. Yeah. You don't want to get those plastic surgeries when they first come out.
No, that's interesting. This is great though. I'm learning too.
Yeah.
Anything else we should know about or get a heads up on?
The modern strippers now. Boobs are out. Who knew?
Yeah.
Yeah.
More than mouthfuls of waste.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when I started, it was like the body style was like stick with the heavy, you know, huge boobs, but not anymore.
Yeah. The old Jenna Jameson look.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pamela Anderson, that whole
yeah.
Thing,
yeah. And now it's like the giant Kim Kardashian look.
Yeah. I know. I didn't have to lose weight. It came to me. I was like, oh, look at the style just came around. I'm like, thank God.
So,
because I'm a Midwest girl, so you know.
Yeah. So, Aaron, how do you? I know in your field, in comedy, I'm not talking about stripping. Mm-hmm. You deal with hecklers a lot. How do you deal with that? How do you deal with the hecklers? Because some of these people are just plain idiots.
Well, I got a good question after.
Do you guys get hecklers boxing?
Yeah, we get hecklers on the show really bad.
Yeah, and obviously, boxing. It's there's nothing you can do about it. Most of the time, you ain't even paying attention when you're coming to the ring. Yeah, you'll get 1 or 2 people out there though.
The problem is we're not witty enough to fight it, so we have to take it like a bunch of menzos. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're like, yeah, and you can go fuck your mom, and that's what we got. You know, that's pretty much it. Our repertoire. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you know, but comedians have this witty repertoire where they can make you feel really little. You know. I hope my phone didn't die.
For women comics, I get a lot of like girls that are drunk. It's not so much the guys.
Yeah.
I did have one guy, and it was mainly he was trying to ask me out, but I don't think that was the right approach if he really wanted to go out with me.
He's like, hey, you're not funny. You want to go out?
He's like, hey, bitch, let's go out. I'm like, whoa, that's the most flattering thing I've heard.
He was probably reading that book by Dan Bilzerian on how to pick up women. You know what I mean?
I don't know the book, but
well,
good.
I don't know it either, but if Dan Bilzerian wrote a book, it'd probably be like that. You know what I mean? Hey, let's totally demean and disrespect a woman, and she'll go out with you.
Oh, I've heard that theory, but no.
Yeah.
Not for me.
It has a 0.0 meter effective range. You know what I mean?
That's funny.
Okay, Aaron, I got a big question for you though, and then you get back to James. But I think mine's going to be a little better.
Okay.
Out of curiosity, I would like to know Where do you guys get the material at, though? I mean, like, do you sit there and, like, Mitch Hedberg the one time in one of his skits, he was like, you know, sometimes I think it's something funny, and I'm laying in bed, but I'm just too lazy to roll over and write it down, so I convinced myself it wasn't funny. You know what I mean?
That's hilarious. You're supposed to always have a notebook, and I try to write everything down. My comedy it comes to me while I'll be like talking to my friends and we're talking about different situations or I see something that happens, or the best ones are like where I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Is there someone watching me? Like this is really happening to me right now. Like the time I walked through puke at the strip club on stage and I didn't see that someone had thrown up on the stage. And I was naked and I was just trying to get to the pole so I didn't fall in the puke. And I was like, are you really this is happening? And all the guys thought I was trying to dance really funky. And I was like, no, I'm trying not to fall and puke. Yeah. Like, Jesus. And they thought I was going for another round. And they're all like, yeah. And I'm like, why would I be doing the robot from '87? No, I'm trying to hang on to the pole.
That'd be hot. Yeah. That would be hot, though.
Yeah, it was awfully hot. Well, then it was funny because the DJ started like trying to do a Howard Cosell, like play along. He's like, "Oh, we're doing this." I'm like, "No, we're not." Wow. He's like, "She's going down. She's not." No, but the other day though, I thought of something really funny. But weed is legal out here now, and I took a hit and I thought of this really funny idea, and then I like wrote it down, and then I looked at it the next day, and I was like, "What the hell does this say?"
You know, it's better just to go with it. I do that all the time. I think of something funny, and if it's not, I just go with it. Like, well.
I guess I'll have to like take another look at that and try to fill in the blanks of what I was saying.
Hey, you can be like some other comedians, just steal your comedy.
Steal it.
Yeah, that was the next thing I was going to ask too. Like, if you ever watch like another comedian and say, you know what, I'm going to kind of steal that, but just add my own shit to it.
But they call you out on that. They don't fuck around with that. No. Like, did you see Joe Rogan and Carlos Mencia?
No.
Joe Rogan almost killed Carlos Mencia.
Oh.
Carlos Mencia's been known for years for doing that.
Yeah, they call him what do they call him? Carlos Plague Garcia or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
And look at I got one for you. What do you think about Monique coming out against Netflix for she's being mistreated because she didn't get her $500,000 per year as opposed to Amy Schumer's $11 million and Chappelle's $20 million.
Well, at first I thought I love Monique, so I was like, yeah, that's cool. And then I thought, well, what have you been doing? And then I'm like, God, I could really use that money.
$500,000, yeah.
Any of it, I would take. So I don't know. I think she should probably get more, but she really hasn't been working lately.
Yeah. And they, you know, and Joey Diaz said the other day that I don't know. I'm not speaking from experience, but he said comedy is a what have you done for me lately type of business. If you're not working and you're not on stage and you're not perfecting your craft, you're not in demand. You're not going to get paid.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I got called out recently because I had been like, I don't know, a little busy like with my other job, and so all through the holidays, and it was kind of crazy. And then I went up, and this one guy goes, "Oh, so you haven't been going up a lot?" I was like, "Fuck you," and But then I'm like, "All right, it's making me go out again."
You know, I had a buddy that's with Sony Records, and I was actually talking to him, and this goes back to the Netflix thing about paying that out, that $500. And I wonder if there was anything behind, like he said, he goes, his one client is getting paid big time, and I guess Netflix went out and spent a lot of money on like the Chappelles and everything else. I wonder if they kind of just did a cutback at the last second, like spent crazy amount.
I don't know why. Netflix raised my rate $4 more a month.
Really?
I started out $8 a month on Netflix. I was happy, I was happier than a buzzard on a gut wagon. Let's just be honest.
They probably figured all the porn.
$12.99 a month now.
They're like, we gotta charge this account, this Dominguez account.
I'm gonna put that in PornTube.
All this midget porn that he's ordering, we gotta charge extra for this.
They don't have midget porn on Netflix.
That's
on X porn. Get it right.
He's like, that's $50 a month.
That's 50. That I don't drink alcohol, so that's part of my alcohol budget.
That's your bar budget.
That's my miscellaneous when it comes to tax time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's funny. Wizard porn. You and Harry Potter. Playing with his wand.
Playing with the wand and asking that girl to get on the carpet with me. Yeah.
That's funny.
I like that.
But you know what? We love having you on, and we would love to have you on all the time, Aaron, if we could talk you into it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That would be fun.
Maybe you could be a contributor to everything but boxing, so we could actually not talk about boxing sometimes.
I love, like, I used to do a lot of kickboxing. I love punching things. I've been in fights.
Well, I was going to ask you to call me, and if you don't want to talk to James, but after hearing that, it sounds a little abusive.
Kelly likes to be punched.
Yeah.
I chased a girl through Red Lobster once and beat her up.
Did you?
But, yeah, I was drinking tequila, and she slept with my boyfriend. I was living in the South. I had to do it.
As long as you got to eat the biscuits first.
Did you get the Cheddar Bay biscuits before you beat her up?
No, I came back and got them. But everybody in Myrtle Beach called me Brute for that year.
I'll tell you what though, that shit is those Cheddar Bay biscuits are amazing. They're worth almost an ass whooping to get those things.
They're so good.
Right?
I love them.
Yep, those are. I'm gonna have to get the recipe for them.
Yeah.
I figure go all out.
Go down South Avenue to Midlothian, they're right there.
I did consider boxing before when I was younger, but I was afraid that I don't want my face hit.
You don't want your what?
Face.
Oh, no.
No, stay away from my face.
You know what? I'll tell you what. It might dampen your fighting career. Or your comedy career being hit in the face, you know what I mean?
I think it actually helped me out. If you just seen me before I started boxing.
You got hit so hard your hair fell out.
Yeah.
You had hair before you started boxing.
Nah, motherfucker, I hit puberty and lost my hair.
Oh, jeez.
I was like bald at 7.
Now, Aaron, how could you be interested in a guy with no hair on his head?
How could I?
How could you?
Come on, man.
So
Jason Statham.
she thinks it's hot.
That's Jason Statham. Come on now.
I don't know. Well, as long as I have a good face.
Oh, well, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good to go.
Jason Statham, he compared, he said, well, Jason Statham, Jason Statham.
He throws kicks.
And Bruce Willis.
Yeah. Is he MMA?
What's that?
Is he MMA?
No, he's the actor that played in
he's the actor that,
the Italian Job and Transporter.
He's that white guy that kicks everybody's ass on all those shows, like where he has like this high pulse rate. This pulse gets below a certain level, he blows up. Crank, yeah. It's like straight to DVD movies. The Mechanic.
Oh, I don't.
That was good.
Yeah, I don't think I saw him.
Well, you have homework, Aaron.
Okay, I gotta look up Jason Statham.
Statham, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I thought you were talking about the guy from True Blood because his name was Jason something like that.
No,
that
not talking about.
Character name.
No, we're getting there. I just got done with Game of Thrones and Sons of Anarchy recently, so I'm still behind.
Love Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah, who doesn't? When that blue dragon shot that blue fire on the ice, I was like, hook, line, and sinker. Yeah. They got me.
I know. And winter is here.
Winter is here. Did I ever tell you the story when I hit?
I got a pink dragon.
In Calabasas, I hit Jason Momoa with a chair by accident.
Oh my gosh.
True story. We're at, I don't know, are you familiar with Calabasas?
I know where it's at.
Okay, well there's a tumbleweed bar, I think it's Tumbleweed Bar and Restaurant. Anyway, it was Mimosa Day with my brother Roger. And we're up there and I moved the chair and hit this big ass dude in the back. And sorry, bro. I didn't know who he was. I never watched Game of Thrones at the time. I said, sorry, bro. Let me get you a drink. He goes, I'm good, man. It's no big deal. Because I put all 4 legs into his fucking back. I mean, it hurt. And he goes, and we start talking. What do you do? He goes, I'm an actor. I'm like, oh, shit. What have you been in? You know, he goes, Game of Thrones? And then I heard Game of Thrones, and I see every woman in the place turn around and stare at this dude and go into lust mode immediately. And he goes,
they were already staring at him.
Oh, but I noticed that they were in lust mode. I knew what was happening. So we watched, and this dude was Khal Drogo. That dude was a monster. I was like,
oh yeah,
yeah. So yeah, that was yeah.
He's Aquaman in the new.
Oh, he's nice in real life.
Very nice, very nice. And Lisa Bonet was there, his wife. Didn't recognize the Cosby Girl either.
Which Cosby
I
girl?
gotta
The
hang
oldest
out
one.
with you.
He's married to her.
What was her name?
Lisa
He's
Bonet.
married to her?
Yeah, they're married. They have kids.
Yeah, they've been married for a while.
Oh my god, I just want to watch them have sex. Jeez. I bet that's amazing. Both of them are beautiful. God.
Yeah.
Just
I bet the kids are gorgeous.
She's been doing Ray Donovan and Lisa Bonet. Her character's dead now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she was the junkie's wife.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, it was great having you on.
Oh,
And
thank you. Yeah, thank
could-
you for having me.
Yeah, Aaron, it was awesome.
And could we twist your arm and get you on here again?
Yeah.
I would
that'd be
love
fun.
it. And
Okay, great.
and we appreciate it and thank you very much.
Okay, thanks guys. Have a great show.
All right, thanks, Aaron.
Bye.
All right, thanks Kelly.
Yep.
Thanks James.
You're welcome.
Okay, bye.
That was the great Erin Hart, guys. And if you
That was
look her up
awesome.
on YouTube, she's fucking hilarious. She does the Comedy Store, the Funny Bone. She does a lot of these big comedy events, and she's done some TV stuff.
That'd be a good one, Chris. No, that was awesome. She's awesome. Cute as hell too.
Who would win out of Dominguez and Statham? Well, that depends. Am I at my best or am I sleeping? Now, Statham is probably pretty good at what he does.
Yeah, we gotta give Joe a call.
And we're going right to our first guest, guys, and we'll get to your questions, I promise. We're going to call the great Joe Goossen. If you have any boxing questions, get them ready.
This is the guy to ask. Thanks, Ricky, for the update.
Ricky was all concerned about it. Call. I already had him on my phone. I didn't need his phone.
Call back, please.
Oh, man. I'm sure Joe will call back in a second.
Oh, Ricky will let us know. Rick, tell Joe call us back.
It wasn't our fault, Rick. We didn't know it was happening.
The show is not scripted by no means.
Or-
Also,
Oh, there it is. We are not scripted, so we don't know who's calling.
welcome to the Punchline with Kelly Pavlik and James Dominguez. Hey, Joe, how you doing? Oh, you can barely hear me.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hi,
Hey.
how are you, Joe?
Now, hold on. You gotta let me know who I'm talking to. That Kelly?
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is Kelly here, and we
Hey, how
got
you doing? I thought that firm, manly voice was yours.
yeah.
Hey, and this is James Dominguez. How's that
I'm
manly
not
voice?
gonna say nothing, James.
Oh, man.
You know that you're the second person today that said that.
Man.
Well,
Hey, manliness is actions,
I don't
not
know
words.
exactly how you took that, so I don't,
Well, you know what? Manliness is actions, not words. I was pretty manly when I was killing Taliban.
Oh,
Now, I'll tell you, you guys could pump up the volume in my ear here. I got my volume all the way up. Is there any?
Let's check our
Right.
speaker.
yeah.
Yeah. Because it's really, I'm at the gym too, so
Oh,
I'm just
yeah.
stood outside the gym.
Well, we're trying. We got everything set
Yeah.
up.
Well, if you go to the gym when Ricky's there, you won't see anybody there, so it's best time to talk when Ricky's training.
Okay, and then James, you're going to have to enunciate clearly on this end here, okay?
All right, we're about to go.
Just for shits and giggles.
All right.
Yeah, he said. James said that you're gonna have to train when
Or calling.
Ricky Funes is training people because nobody will be there.
Right, that's okay. I hope that didn't go out over the airwaves. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Hey, Joe, we gotta figure something else too. I want one of them T-shirts, and he won't send us any.
Ricky won't.
No, I've already sent him like $200.
No, don't even. Listen, Ricky will. If you send him the money, I guarantee. But yeah, he's yeah. It's like like the guy from Boston once told me. He goes, he's got deep pockets and short arms.
Yeah, he does. He goes out, buys all this nice stuff, and won't send us our shirts.
Yeah, well, we'll next time you're out here, we'll just have to confront that situation.
Yes, we will. So,
Yeah.
how's everything going, Joe? What's going on in your world?
Great, Kelly. Except for the fact that it sounds like there's a 7 alarm fire out here right now. I mean, with all the damn sirens, my gym is near the fire station, near the police station, so it's quite lively out here.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm trying to move to a more calm spot, which really isn't available out here. But yeah, things are going good. I just finished up, a little session in the gym. It's 3 o'clock out here. I don't know what time it is out there. Probably 4 or 5. Right?
6.
6.
Oh, 6. Okay, where are you guys?
In Ohio, right by Youngstown.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm trying to think if I've ever made it out to Ohio before. I don't know.
Yeah.
Been everywhere else though. So yeah, just well, first off, are we starting the interview yet? Are we
Yes.
live?
Yes,
You're on.
We're on. We're just
okay.
yeah.
Thanks for tipping me off. I could have really said something off color.
Oh, hey, on this show, anything goes.
Anything goes. Yeah, you can say whatever you like.
Well, Kelly and James, if you know anything about me, anything goes isn't part of my shtick when I'm on air. maybe in the privacy of my own gym, yeah. But,
yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, so, but now that being said, I'm glad I'm on the show. I didn't, Ricky had told me last night that you wanted to talk, and I said, what, do they have a podcast? I was just kind of taking a shot in the dark, and he said, yeah. I said, well, come on, are you kidding?
Well, that's our fault.
More than happy to do it for Kelly and James.
That'd be awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, that's kind of our fault because at the beginning when we called, that's when like the misconnection and the phone wasn't working that well. So I gave the introduction, but yeah, now you're officially on the punchline with Kelly Pavlik and James Dominguez.
Okay, good. Now I know, as they say.
You do know.
I know it's a pretty loose atmosphere when it comes to podcasts, so I guess I shouldn't be surprised that I was already on air.
Well, if you come on in a couple weeks, we're in talks with Sirius Radio right now. I don't know how much I'm allowed to say, but we're in talks with Sirius Radio, so it might not be as loose in a few weeks.
Well, then that'll suit me just fine.
Yeah, so we're just trying to get it all out before we have to clean up a little bit.
Okay, yeah. So no, that's good. That's good. Get into the practice of that right now. I'm a good guy to work with on that.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much why I don't really, and I've never liked being mic'd up in the corner.
Yeah.
Because, when it comes to, a fight or the gym, I mean, sometimes a good expletive is worth 1,000 words. True.
And I've heard many of them come from you. It's great.
Yeah, and Joe.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Like I said, I don't let them mic me. So if they ever pick that up, it's because they got a boom mic in the corner.
They had you in the corner with Ruelas and De La Hoya, and you weren't mic'd, but you were boom mic'd on that one.
Oh boy!
And I loved it. I loved it.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Like,
I didn't love the outcome.
No,
of that fight, but
whatever.
But that was a horrible night. That was just a horrible night, all in all, because Rafael was the main event with De La Hoya.
Yeah.
And the semi-main or the co-main was his brother Gabriel.
Yeah.
And of course, that was a very ill-fated night with Jimmy Garcia.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So I mean, when the kid collapsed in the ring after the fight, and you knew he was in very dire straits.
Yeah.
That kind of really cast a real dark cloud over the rest of the evening. I got to tell you that.
Oh,
and
yeah.
There was a lot of confusion, a little commotion, and yeah. So it wasn't it didn't start out the right way. Let's put it that way. And of course, unfortunately, Jimmy Garcia, passed away.
Yeah.
About a week later.
I heard from different. I heard over. You know how the boxing scuttle is, that it was actually he carried that injury into the ring with him from when he fought Gennaro Hernandez.
Well, I mean, that means that every fighter takes every injury with them to the next fight.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not really a big revelation there.
Yeah.
Okay, punches pile up. Okay.
Yeah.
But I would say, regardless of what happened with the Gennaro Hernandez fight, it's what happens over a whole career. Yeah. And then the other part is, what type of puncher is the guy in front of you?
Well, Gabriel was a big one.
Yeah.
Another factor, too, that I try to explain to a lot of people with boxing is we don't know what could have happened in camp, in the sparring sessions.
Well, that's right. That's right. Well, you kind of know when you get buzzed good in a camp, and then there's plenty of camps you can go through without getting buzzed at all, and you kind of go, oh, that was a really, uneventful camp in terms of me, getting whacked around at all. Because I know I've had some guys in camps that get so sharp that nobody's landing stuff on big, and you know what I mean by that. But there are other camps you bring in some really hot shot sparring. You may be starting out in your camp, not really sharp yet, and you're going to get hit with a few things that you probably wouldn't if you were 110%. So, yeah, I mean, it's a fluid thing. There's no saying this is exactly how it works. It could be camp, like you say. It could be a fight.
Exactly.
And then, then it just could be something that, manifested itself some other way. But like I said, it's hard to tell. You're right, unless there's some outward signs. Now I know you probably experienced a few of those, right?
No, not at all. I slipped in the second round against Taylor.
No, I didn't even mean that. I meant at the end of your career. I tell
people the biggest thing, how I look at it is, when people ask about guys and they see the fights and they go, wow, man, that's like the third war he's been in. And I tell them, I said, that's the glamorous part. People assume that these fights are what causes the permanent head injuries and the problem with Alzheimer's. And you go back and you look at it. I mean, some guys spar 3-4 days a week, and sparring sessions get heated. They call them gym wars. And I believe that's where most of the damage in a fighter's career comes from, is when you're sparring sometimes 200 rounds a camp, if not more. And
that's right.
And it's punished. I used to spar some very good guys in sparring, and I've laid it on plenty of sparring partners. They used to bring in 2 to 3 guys at a training camp because one would usually end up going home. And and of course, the higher up you get, the better comp you get, you get better sparring partners. But
no, you're exactly right. And I got to tell you, when Corrales fought Castillo,
you were there.
Yeah.
I mean, we probably did a good 175 rounds minimum, and man, we brought in some really, really great fighters. But I got to tell you, Diego was just unbelievable in that camp. There are some camps, even guys like Casamayor, they never get hit with a square shot, even in training. Now, there are other guys that, are just, you're right, gym wars, and you can expect it. Some guys are really shitty in sparring, but in a fight, they're different animals.
Yeah,
I've seen that.
Or vice versa. You get some guys who are shitty in fights.
It's usually vice versa.
Yeah, and they're professional sparring partners. Yeah.
Hey, Joe,
they're great. Yeah, go ahead.
You have a question from one of your fans. You have a fan here that has a question. Chris Otto Broad from England. He wants to know what incident has shocked you the most in boxing or event. What is the biggest shock to you?
Okay, so you started off with, you said he's Chris from where, did you say?
From England. Chris Broad from England.
Chris, and the question was, what has shocked me most?
What incident or event in boxing has shocked you the most?
Yeah, what incident in boxing shocked you the most?
I'm trying to decipher whether it was one I observed or one that I was involved with.
One that you observed.
I would say, well, God, there's so many of them. It's kind of hard to pin that one down. It's a great, I would say, probably one of the great shocks of all time. If we're going to get down to the brass tacks here, was probably when James Buster Douglas beat Mike Tyson.
Huh.
That was one of the most shocking things I think anybody ever saw. And I know I was in Palm Springs at the time having dinner in a private house, not at a restaurant. And we turned on the fight just for a goof. And, it's Buster Douglas. It was, I don't know, 30 to 1 odds, whatever it was. It was huge odds. And by the third round, me and the guy I was having dinner with, I looked at him. We weren't really paying attention to the fight too closely. And I said, is it me or is Tyson getting beat right now? and he goes, I was thinking the same thing. So we kind of turned our attention to the fight. And that was that. And then, what the rest is history, as they say. But that was one of the most shocking, I think, upsets that a lot of people have ever witnessed.
I cried. I couldn't believe it. I was a huge Tyson fan.
I was probably in 7th grade.
Yeah.
Did I pick a good one? Pull a good one out of the hat?
I think you did. I think you hit a home run with that one.
I was gonna go right around the same time frame a little bit when the fight was going on and the parachute guy came into the ring.
Yeah, I was there for that. That was the Holyfield Bowe fight.
Yeah.
I was at the Mirage, and I happened to be there that night, which was something else to witness that. And they knocked the crap out of that guy. That poor guy got him. Guy, I'm an idiot. But man, did he get his butt whooped ringside. Yeah. It wasn't exactly an ice skating crowd he parachuted into.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true.
You know, he pulled that one on the wrong crowd.
He did.
You know, that's funny you say that. I'm surprised there hasn't been more all-out brawls at boxing matches than what there's been.
Well,
I mean, I've seen a few.
I mean, the one where Duva got popped, if you remember, he
got
laid out in a fight
I was going to mention that one
in New York. But I understood they just had a big brawl in New York after the or during the fight this weekend.
The Charlos were there. Are you surprised?
No, I didn't.
Pardon?
I said the Charlos were there. Are you surprised?
Who was there?
The Charlo brothers were there. That seems to happen when they're at fights.
I don't think it had any. I don't think it had any.
Oh, I know. But every time that we've been to a fight with the Charlos, there's always been a fight, and there's been 3 of them in a row.
Usually it's the the hanger-oners or the crowd.
Yeah, it is exactly.
It's never the guys themselves.
No.
They'd rather avoid that. I can tell you that honestly.
Yeah.
It's sometimes the guys that they act a little brave.
Yeah.
In a pack. So, but whatever the case, those things do happen. But yeah, I mean.
Hey, Joe, Worldwide Boxing has a question. What is your impression of Errol Spence Jr.?
Well, Errol Spence Jr., doesn't that sound like, somebody that belongs in the Chamber of Parliament? Errol Spence Jr.
Yes.
No, I didn't see the fight. I know he beat Lamont Peterson. I know he stopped him in, the 7th round?
Yeah.
Was it?
Pretty one-sided.
I was out basically for the whole weekend. I went away and I kind of disconnected from the Matrix. But I was going to look at that, tonight, the replay of it on the computer. But I heard Spence kind of dominated, but that what's his name was very. What's the kid's name? Well, Peterson.
Peter
was very tough and gave him a good fight, from what I hear. I may have been wrong. The assessment I got from somebody may have been wrong, but is that pretty close to what happened?
Yeah.
Dominant performance.
Dominant, but yet Peterson was tough and hung in there.
Yes.
Yeah, he showed heart. Peterson always has heart. It comes to fight, but definitely outgunned.
But was that? Now, Spence, what weight was that fight at?
Welterweight. 47.
47. What did the Spence usually fight at? 47?
Yes.
Yeah.
But has he not fought at a higher weight before?
I don't think.
I'm not sure. I don't think so.
I may be wrong. I could have sworn he had a fight or two at Pittsburgh. Okay, and Peterson is a legit welterweight, or was he a 40-pounder?
He was 47. He was a welterweight for this fight.
No, but this fight, most of his career.
He's been 40.
Yeah, he was at 40.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
So I figured going into this, just on the face of it, that Spence was going to be the bigger, stronger guy.
Yeah.
Is that the case?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I hate to be on your show and to be a expert on this, and I couldn't give you any examples.
Well, you are.
Except for my thought process, but yeah.
Yeah,
so what I should have done was bet the damn thing. I had it right.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, though, Spence is a big welterweight. I mean, he's pretty much going to be bigger than any big welterweight that he fights. The kid's just genetically, he's a monster, especially for that weight. And
you're one to talk.
Yeah, that's true too.
Well, because I'll tell you, you kind of fit into the era of when I had Michael Nunn. All of the middleweights at that time were either 6'1" or 6'2" or 6'3". I mean, they were huge.
Yeah.
I mean, you had Iran Barkley, you had Michael Nunn, you had Ray Gray, you had Michael Alajde, you had Frank Tate. These are all over 6 footers, man.
Yeah, it's true.
They can fight.
I mean, you got a
Joe
guy
McClellan.
like you got a guy like Golovkin who's like 5'8". I'm telling you, it's that.
Yeah.
Okay, 5'9" tops. I'm telling you, he would have had a tough go with the big boys because the current crop of middleweights aren't all that big.
Well, most of them are coming up from junior middleweight.
That's right. That's right.
Well,
most of the middleweights back where I'm talking, these guys were coming down from 75, to make 60.
What was Gerald McClellan? 6'2", 6'1"?
Pardon?
What was Gerald McClellan? 6'1" or 6'2"?
He was a big boy, I can tell you that. I never really stood next to him, but I know he was a big kid.
Yeah, he was big.
No, but that middleweight division back in the 80s, that was like one of the tallest, biggest dudes. I mean, even had Hearns, basically moving up to 60 pounds at a certain point. But yeah. So you yourself, though, I remember Kelly. You have to be at least 6'2"?
Yeah, just a little less. But but that being said, though, some of them guys, even though when I fought, Jermaine was my height.
Jermaine Taylor was.
Yeah, Edison Miranda was 6 foot.
Who was Edison?
Yeah.
No, I trained Edison. He wasn't 6 foot.
He was a 6 foot?
No, I
maybe just looked like that when I was getting hit with them right hands.
No. That dude was put together like a mother. And plus he had really long arms. Really long arms.
Yeah.
How did you feel he punched it all? Could he bang? I know everyone that he sparred with just said, man, this guy's heavy-handed.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you right now, it was a different, everybody talks like how Triple G hits. I mean, Edison Miranda was just a different, you carried, you carried a jab. It wasn't that snap, torque punch. It was that just everything he threw had a lasting effect. And he was by far the hardest hitter. I try to explain to people when I got dropped by Jermaine, that was because it was just the right spot, right time. And
yeah, exactly. It was a great time shot. It wasn't because it was heavy.
Yeah.
You know what? I had Miranda fight Lucien Boutet he was in one of the greatest shapes ever, and he kind of blew it. But Lucien Boutet, and it only probably went 3 rounds. Boutet said, "I've never been hit like that in my life."
Yeah.
At the press conference. And you know what? He never really hit him hard. He never had one of those clean, hard shots. It was like a little left uppercut he slipped in under a jab and stuff like that. But nothing big. So he never really got to taste Edison's power. But that dude, man, his hands barely fit into 10-ounce gloves. Barely.
Well, I know. Believe me, I think I felt it. I think I felt it didn't fit.
Yeah.
In the fifth, he hit you in the 5th round. That cleaned your sinuses, didn't he?
He hit me 3 times in a row. That cleaned everything in my head.
Really?
Yeah.
One hurt you, the other one woke you up.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, when I think about how you fought, I mean, you had one of the. I loved your left uppercut, left toe. I mean, you really knew how to work left hand on the inside, and also, I mean, when you think about it. I mean, you had what, 2 losses, Mason? Was it?
Yeah, 42.
Hold on, don't.
Okay.
Let's see if I can remember. I know one of them was the Hopkins, who was, come on, who didn't he beat? I mean, he beat everybody. He was one of the most difficult guys to fight ever. I think if you probably had it to do over again 6 months later, which you probably wish you had, you probably would have beat him.
Yeah.
Was it one of those fights where you go, man, I wish I had this one to do over again?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. And then the other one, what was it, Martinez?
Yes.
Sergio?
Yes.
And, of course, you got him in his prime, and he was one of the most difficult southpaws ever in the world. He was such an athletic
But
dude.
I can tell you one quick thing with that. That fight literally came down also to the weight, making a weight. I was winning that fight up to the 9th round, and it's hard to explain. And I never really explained it because I don't want to get smashed with making excuses. But
no, but it's been long enough now. Kevin.
Yeah, exactly. I hit the wall in the 9th round, and it wasn't the cut. Even if I didn't have the cut, was so bad because of the dehydration and rehydration. Yeah. And then it was just a wall that then you could.
People may not understand what that means when you say a wall. I'm sure the Rabbits boxing fans you have on do, but it's like I'll never forget. Alexis Arguello told me one time when he fought. Oh God, he was Ruben Olivares, who was just an incredible fighter. I mean, he had like 80 knockouts. But he said in the 13th round, it was maybe the 14th. I can't remember what round it was, but he finally stopped Olivares. But he said, when I put him down in the last round, whatever it was, he said, in the corner, when I was standing in the corner, he said, if he gets up, I'm done. He said, just like you said, he hit a wall, and he said, if he got up, I would have just collapsed, basically, under just fatigue.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
And, Joe, you know what's weird about it, too? Like, when I try to explain to people, lung-wise, you know, as far as cardio, I wasn't breathing heavy. I wasn't tired that way. My body was like I was literally in quicksand. I was dragging 80 pounds.
The energy leaves your body.
Yeah. Yep. Depleted.
Right. Yeah. And it's almost like when you say quicksand, I'm sure that's kind of what Arguello was saying was I had nothing, like I couldn't have moved my body in terms of trying to, finish him off. He said he would have been done if the guy got up, which is kind of amazing,
Yep, and that's the most frustrating thing because you know what you want to do, you know how to counter, what you should do, and you just can't pull the trigger. Yeah. You can't position yourself. You can't do it, and that's the frustrating part.
That's usually how you feel when you first start sparring. No timing, no you know what I mean?
Yep, exactly.
No longevity. You work your way into that, but it's amazing. You can train as perfectly as you can train, and sometimes the other guy, the guy in front of you, just. No matter how well you condition, he can wear you out depending on what he hits you with, the type of pressure he puts on. So, no, I feel you, man. That's it.
And you can't call timeout and ask for your teammate to come in for you either.
You can't. No, No, but what a great career. I gotta hand it to you. I've never had an opportunity to really tell you how much enjoyment you gave to guys like me. Love to see a guy that really likes to fight,
Yeah, I appreciate it. That's an honor to me.
Oh, well, the same here. It's Mutual Admiration Society today. But I got to tell you, I really loved watching you fight. And especially when you got on the inside and started ripping guys up, because that's where you really were at your best, I thought.
Yeah. I took a lot of heat for that, too, being tall. But,
no, but it boils down to probably your instinct and, your desire to fight, anywhere. So, I mean, for instance, I had a real tall lightweight, Rafael Relis, who was 5'11", who had longer arms than anybody, but he would just shred you on the inside. He never took a step backwards. So, people go, why don't you have him box? Because it's not his nature. It's just not in his nature to move around. He goes, I even told him one time, I said, Rafael, we kind of got a box. He goes, what do you think? I'm going to run around the ring?
I'll tell you what, Joe. One of my favorite fights in history was Rafael Ruelas and Freddie Pendleton.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
What an amazing night.
Oh boy, was that ever! That was an incredible fight. Believe me, because we got dropped twice in the first round by Pendleton.
What year was that?
90? Was it 94?
94, 95, something like that. They both won. Rafael won the title that night.
Yeah.
He pretty much ran away with it after the first round,
He did.
I even told him, I said, well, when he came back to the corner, I said, you're not going to get hit any harder than that tonight, Yeah. And I said, you took that, you got up. I said, you're going to be champ tonight because you brushed it off. And he did. He brushed it off.
Yes.
But let me tell you, there were two devastating left hands he got hit with,
Yeah. I was just shocked on the fortitude he has. Like he's up and he's fighting again. Oh my God.
He actually, when he was walking back to the corner, I locked on his eyes. He was halfway to me, and sometimes a simple gesture can tell a story. He looked at me, I looked at him, and I'm like going, okay, do you want to give me a signal here? And he shrugged his shoulders like, big deal. And I went, good. Then I went, great. Then I was able to give him that good pep talk in the corner because he gave me that signal. So, it
Hey,
was
Joe,
an amazing night.
And you got another question. They said, Chris also asked, what did you say to Corrales when you were putting his mouthpiece back in after the second knockdown against Castillo?
Well, Without the expletive, you know, the thing was, I told Diego all night, I go, if you get too much distance with this guy, so I watched a lot of his fight, I said, he'll feint down at the body. He sets you up, man. He really set you up for the left hook real good. He'd stick a jab in your belly 2-3 times.
Yeah.
He'd throw a left hook to the liver off of a jab to the belly, right to the liver. He'd work you downstairs. He'd get your eyes looking down, and then he would feint a good jab downstairs, hoping you'd bite on it with your right hand and drop your right hand to block it.
Yeah.
And then he'd come over with a whip hook. Well, Diego avoided that all night, you know, because we were kind of in close quarters. I mean, you've seen the fight. It was, you didn't need a referee. We were inside all night. So I without the excitement or the expletive, you know, I told him he had to get back on the inside.
Yeah.
Okay, because he got tricked by that. Yeah. Wow. The guy had two or three good. That's how he avoided getting hit with it all night up until the 10th round. Good night. He had a good 9th round, so he got he just put his guard down a little bit nonchalant at his way into the 10th, you know? Yeah. And that's when Castillo just threw the feint and caught him with the hook, and then he knocked him down again. But when he came back, I told him he had to get back inside. Now, I will tell you, a lot of people that were very close to him, associates, business people, were telling me to stop the fight because they were literally 5 feet from me or less in the corner. Now, you know, I knew by one thing that looking at Diego, he went down ugly, but he got up strong. Yeah. See? So that's a big key for a guy in the corner, is looking to see how his guy gets up. Yeah. So that gave me confidence, because I knew what type of training we did. You know, you train to take a beating if it comes down to that, and still, you know, somehow push through it and persevere. So I knew we were able to do that if he got up strong, which he did, and that enabled me then, when he came to the corner, to give him, you know, you're not supposed to give any instructions at that point, but I did anyway. I felt it was just, you know, it was an instinctual thing. And basically I told him he had to get on the inside. Now, a lot of people may have said, you know, grab onto him, hold on to him, you're hurt, you know, you move, run around, right? You know, you know what I'm saying, Kelly, right? Oh, yeah. Yeah, but my instinct wasn't to do that because of what type of camp we had. So based on the camp we had and the condition I knew Diego was in, and that he got up strong, I felt I could still push him to fight to win that round. See, I wasn't looking to survive that round. I thought we could come back and win the round. I didn't know he's going to knock the dude out. Yeah, but I knew we could get back in the fight, so I didn't tell him to run. I didn't tell him to hold, and I didn't wave the fight off. Like, believe me, a lot of people thought I should have. Yeah. So basically, I just played it by what my instinct saw in those split seconds, and my instinct and my gut instinct told me to push him, and that's what I did. So I pushed him, and he actually listened. I mean, he looked me directly in the eye, and he gave me the knowing look, and that was that. Yeah. You know, I mean, I don't expect him to talk back to me at that point, but I expect him to at least, you know, show me in his eyes that he's understanding what I'm saying and what I want him to do, and he did it.
Well, you know your fighter well enough to have nonverbal cues anyway between each other.
Yeah, but I gotta bring the attention with that fight though. How lucky I was. I gotta bring up how lucky I was for that fight. I went out and I re-signed with Top Rank. So, and they go, and I was thinking I was going out there because I'm a homebody. I like being home. And me and my dad went out there, and I'm going, all right, we're going to re-sign the contract and go home. And then they were like, well, we got tickets to this fight tomorrow. You know, we want you guys to go. And I'm like, oh, come on, man. I box. I don't want to watch. So we get there, though, and we had pretty good seats. Actually, to me, the best seats. They were right where the bleachers go up in the first row. And I'm right above.
That's where they put all the fighters, right?
Yeah.
It was the Boxing Writers Association deal the night before, so all the champs in the world were there for that fight. Go ahead.
Yeah. And I tell you what, boy, that goes down up in the air with one or two of the best fights that I ever got to see, and it was totally not even planned. You know, I was just lucky.
No, well, I, you know, on your end it wasn't planned. On my end it was, obviously.
Yeah.
But I did say at the press conference, come on, I looked at enough to look. When he fought Mayweather, who had the greatest legs in the business at the time, Mayweather couldn't get away from him. You know.
Yeah.
Now people go, you have Diego box, you're gonna have Diego. I go, you know, I'm saying to myself, I didn't tell anybody this, but I'm going, Diego never took a step back in his life. Was he going to start boxing now?
Yeah.
No. Now, then you're going to do what Canelo did with Golovkin. You're going to go outside of your character, and it's not going to win you a fight.
True.
So I just said, I'm going to let everyone think we're going to box. And when they interview me, I'll say, yeah, we're going to keep, you know, use our height, our reach, but no.
Yeah.
I knew all along, number one, Diego could fight on the inside. People didn't know it because nobody ever wanted to fight him on the inside because everyone ran from him.
Yeah.
So nobody really got to see him in a full-fledged fight on the inside. But I knew we could, and we really worked at it. And I figured we'd catch them off guard because they'd bring in sparring partners that would talk, would move, and box, thinking that's what we were going to do because that was the message we were putting out. But actually, I think we surprised them and we submarined them in the first round, and they didn't know what hit them for the first 4 to 5 rounds.
Yeah.
So, I mean, had we not, I firmly believe, had we not used that and beaten him up early, we would have never been able to take him out in 10.
Yeah.
See? So if we would have boxed him and tried to maneuver and this and that, the guy would have been fresh as a daisy by 10. So it worked out. I mean, it was a little bit of a treacherous plan, but, you know, in the long run, I think it gave everyone a great fight and kind of a historic fight in a way, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. And it'll probably go down as one of the better fights. It'll be should be in everybody's top 5 of all time.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. I mean, some people say it's the greatest spot they ever saw, but, you know, at least Bert Sugar, who, God rest his soul, who was, you know, editor of Ring for whatever in a day, but, you know, somebody asked him, is that one of the greatest fights you ever saw, Bert? He goes, nope. He goes, it's the greatest fight I've ever seen. He was like 90 then, you know what I mean? So, you know, he had seen it all, but, yeah, being there was you got a treat, didn't you, that night?
Yeah, my dad says, he goes, boy, we'll never get that lucky. So
No.
Yeah.
And I gotta tell you though, in all honesty, they made that rematch way too soon. That was one of the most devastating fights on a fighter's body you could ever. Both of those guys were in dire straits afterwards.
Yeah.
And you know, I mean, it took Pacquiao and Marquez, you know, like 5 years to have 3 fights. They wanted to do 2-3 fights in like within a year of time. I mean, I really said I said this at the press, anybody suggests that these 2 guys should fight before a year, I said it's sadistic.
Yeah.
Because you know it and I know it, especially you, Kelly. You can go through a career without getting hit that many times in a fight.
Oh yeah. Oh God, Joe, just going out to fight with Miranda when I stopped him in the 7th round, and it's just a couple shots that I took from him. You know, sometimes after a fight, man, I wasn't me for a week and a half.
Yep.
You know,
without
getting dropped or knocked down, I was just kind of like I was there. You know.
No, it's like getting in a car accident.
Yeah.
You know.
Just mentally drained, physically drained. Everything hurts on you.
Yeah. So. I got to tell you, we were in the hospital after the Corrales-Castillo fight, and if it weren't for the fact that we won, I guarantee I think Diego would have never gotten out of that hospital bed. But you know, something about winning, you know, a fight like that kind of keeps this extra, you know, adrenaline that keeps you moving because he had to do a tour after this thing.
Wow.
And I was like, I was dead. I literally, just by working the corner, that took it out of me, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
I know it sounds a little stupid, but you know, at my age, believe me, that was a lot of work.
Yeah. Oh, I can imagine the emotion going into that.
Yeah. It was brutal. It was brutal. So, but you know, aside from that, you were in some of the great classics of all time, especially those fights which remain. Now, I know you stopped them in one, and then one went the distance? Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Or vice versa?
No, I stopped them in the first one, and then nobody gave me. They said in the second one, if I didn't knock them out, I couldn't win the fight, and so that was even a better one for me. due to the fact that I went in and beat him, on points. So
yeah.
Oh, that's right. So the first one was a 7th round knockout?
Yep.
Yeah. See, I remember. I used to watch you all the time.
I appreciate it.
I always said, man, if I could get my hands on that guy. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
And anytime I see a great fight, I always go, man, I'd let the kid, but I knew you were locked away with your whole team for years. Same guys. So was it your father? Who was involved?
No, my dad just was more a guy, to watch over, which did a great job. Who
was your trainer, though? What was your trainer's name?
Jack Lowe.
Well, who was it?
Jack Lowe. Little short red hair fire plug.
Spell his last name.
Loew.
Loew. Okay, yeah, Lowe. Okay, got it.
And then you had Robert.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then I finished my career with Robert Garcia.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Who was your Robert Garcia? Were you saying he was your first trainer?
No, Jack Lowe was my first trainer. Then
you went with Robert. You went with Robert.
Yeah.
How many fights did you have with Robert?
3.
Mm-hmm.
And I won them all. But
were they your last 3?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The big thing about that was I lost a little bit of it in the heart, and then we had that Andre Ward fight set up, and I was totally pumped up for that one, and he ended up getting that injury, and he was out for that period, and there was no big fights out there, and I just decided to call it quits. So,
well, of course, my brother was promoting that fight.
Oh yeah, I didn't know that.
Andre Ward's promoter.
That's right. Split with Top Rank.
Pardon?
Yeah, with Top Rank, and your brother was doing that.
Yeah, I think it was then or now. I would have said more of my brother, only because he got the venue and the Galen Center.
Well, see that part, Joe, that part I don't know. They tell me go fight and okay.
That what?
They tell me go fight and I just say okay. So
right, of course.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, that would, and I'll tell you, it would have been a great spot. I mean, it's really an incredible venue. But we were all really disappointed. But as it turned out, Andre Ward ended up, having an operation that didn't fight for a number of years, and then eventually, went his own way with whomever it was.
Yeah, and there was nothing out there for me.
Where did he go with Jimmy Z or something like that?
I think so. There was a whole contract thing going on also with him, along with the injury.
Mm-hmm.
So, I was, like I said, I was kind of, no big fights were left out there. I was up and leaving my kids, going to California. I had my money put away. I have great people, surrounding me, and I didn't need the money. And right. It was just kind of, in this sport, if you lose a little bit in the heart, it's a horrible hobby to have.
Oh, yeah. So, oh, no, for sure. No, for sure. Because when the gas tank is running on fumes.
Exactly.
Yeah. I just in everyday life, when you go, okay, a lot of people down from,
Yeah, a lot of people, they think that my career started in 2007. So
no, it started in 2000.
Yeah, exactly. And
no, you had a 12-year run. 12 years in this game is a lifetime.
Exactly, and that's what I try explaining. But that is what it is. Fans like seeing.
They think your career started when you won the title.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. How many amateur fights did you have?
98.
There you go. So you had 100 amateur fights, and you probably had over at least 30 fights before you even looked at a title, right?
Yeah, I fought 7 years. Before I got a title shot.
So there's about 130 fights under your belt before you got to sniff the title.
Yep. Yeah, it's long. It's I want to be able to play with my kids, be able to count to 10. Who knows. From what I endured in my career, what happens when I get to 55, 60 years old?
Well, I don't know. I think you're gonna be all right because to tell you the truth, those things manifest themselves pretty early on. To tell you the truth, just from my experience, some guys look at Joe Frazier. Nobody took more punches than Joe Frazier. The guy was the same guy he was when he passed away in terms of his, maybe in the last year, like anybody debilitates, but. For the most part, who ended up more cognizant, Ali or Frazier?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Some guys are built for it. I mean, Tex Cobb. Nobody took more punishment than I talked to Tex Cobb. I haven't talked to him in a few years, but the guy was sharp as a tack. I mean, so you get guys that are built for it. See, certain guys that are boxers by nature, they do that because they know they can't take the good whack. Yeah. So they have a more of a protective style that they develop because of their own instincts. And,
that's true.
You know, guys that are just blocked, you know, guys that just can walk right through brick walls, they can take it and they're built for it.
Yeah.
So
that's one thing I was really blessed with too, was a pretty strong beard. So
pretty what?
Strong beard, chin.
Oh yeah. Oh no, for sure.
I didn't want to take all those, but I
see,
did.
That's what I'm talking about, Kelly.
Yeah.
I'm talking about, you know, you had a good beard. That's why you were able to walk guys down and sit in the pit.
Exactly. You know, that's speaking of the Miranda fight. That was kind of the game plan in that fight. Was from what I watched on film, Miranda caught a lot of people with his awkward punches when they were backing away from him and trying to get away. And I was going in. I knew I was a power puncher and I had a good chin. So kind of my strategy was, is he going to, we know we could probably take his, and we're going to find out, and he can't fight good going off his back foot. So, in fact, the thing is going to be, can he take my punches and stay at my pace, because I threw a lot of punches around. So that was kind of our game plan going in, like put the vest on and go in.
Yeah, well, and again, I mean, maybe somebody else not knowing all those details would have said, you know, you better box this guy, man. You better keep him, you know. It's a real big punch. So, again, you know, it's internally what you know you can get away with. And you know, I always say, like, when Roy Jones came off his toes, it was the end of his career. When Ali came off his toes, it was the end of his career. Yep. They started getting hit. And they never got hit early on, you know.
Yeah, no, you're right.
But when they started getting, now Ali had a great, you know, he had a great beard too. But my God, he took a lot of hard punches later on in his career.
He adapted, you know, just like in a Foreman fight. He knew he couldn't bang it out with Foreman, you know, the entire time, so tire him out.
Yeah. But he was. I'll tell you what. He was one of the few guys that could box and move that really had a good chin too. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You know, I don't even know how many times he went down in his career, but it couldn't have been too many.
Yeah. Yep. Hey Joe, I just wanted to thank you for coming on today. And
listen, my pleasure, James. I'd love to do it again.
I would love to have you on.
Well, you know what? We are going to bother you now a little bit. At least try to get you on once every other month. Minimum.
I would love to do that, Kelly. First off, I enjoy talking boxing with, number one, I know James is an incredible fan of boxing. And number two, you're a former world champion who's seen the big time, like very few people get to see it. And it's rarefied air, so it's even a pleasure for me to talk to you, you know, as an athlete that's been there and been to the top of the game, which is so difficult to do in this sport. So my hat's off to you, Kelly, and I just want to tell you that I really appreciated all the great fights you gave us on TV, because I can tell you, one thing you knew, if Kelly Pavlik was going to be on TV, you're going to see a fight.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay?
Sure.
And that's what we want to see, you know, as fans. The only reason I got into boxing was I was a fan.
Yeah.
You know, as a kid, you know, and I found my way to a boxing gym when I was, 16. So, but, you know, I still get excited over meeting great champions like you and discussing old times. So anytime you want to have me back on, you let me know. It's my pleasure.
Definitely made my night, buddy.
I would love to. And Joe, on another note, I wanted to tell you how much it meant to me to work a corner with you a couple years ago. What an honor that was to work a corner with you a couple years back. We did on ESPN.
Oh, yeah. No, listen. Like I said, sometimes, you know, people don't realize it, but there are people out there that really know this game, and you melded into the corner rather easily, James. So
thank you.
You know, you may have a career there if you worked at it.
Yeah. That's what I hear. But I really appreciate it, and all the time I got to spend with you in the gym and pick your ear, you know, so it's an honor, and I would love to have you back.
And I want to see you back out here one day, all right?
Yes, sir.
All right, and listen, thanks again to all your fans that asked those insightful questions, and it's because of those type of fans that make the world go around for us, right?
It's true.
No,
Yes, it is.
Yes,
Yeah,
it is.
yeah. Okay, all right, you guys. Listen, be careful, and I hope to talk to you soon.
Yes, sir. We'll talk to you soon. Thank
All right,
you.
Joe. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. See you guys. Bye.
Bye.
We ran over a little bit. That was Joe Goossen, but how can you not run over for a guy like Joe? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that was awesome.
That was Andrew Hartley calling.
Oh boy.
He called my phone.
Do we want to call him from my phone?
Yeah, he called. Well,
are we going to three-way it with Charlie Z?
we can't. Well, yeah, but let me. You want to call him? It's 4079.
Okay, hold on.
We'll ask him for 831
Okay.
1204. We'll see if he recognizes it. He might think it's a bill collector. Tell him that we ran over. That's why. Well, I'll tell him.
There you go. He's probably like, I'm not answering this. I'm waiting for the show to call me back. Yeah, you might have to call him from yours.
Bill collector.
Yeah, I could probably get.
Here, we'll just switch him over.
Please leave your message.
I could probably get Charlie Z and put him on speakerphone
Yeah.
close to here.
Please leave your message for 4798.
Nobody wants to talk.
Andrew.
Hello?
Andrew?
Hey, what's up, bro?
You're on the punchline.
With James
Hey,
Dominguez.
what's up, guys?
How you doing?
How you doing? Sorry, we were running over on one of the interviews. We were trying to get to as fast as we could, buddy.
Oh, no problem, guys. It's no worries.
Hey, we wanted to sit and talk with you. We were curious to see how you've been doing and anything going on with you.
Yeah, man, I'm getting ready to fight. I believe February 10th, maybe in March. We don't know yet, but I'm going to be fighting Rufus Deckenball.
Where's that fight going to be at?
It's going to be in New Cumberland, West Virginia.
Okay, that's not too far from us.
No. And
Yeah,
we
it's
just
going to
want
be
to
New Cumberland, West Virginia.
we want to let the fans know that we got Andrew Hartley on the show. He's on the punchline with with Kelly Pavlik and James Dominguez, and so we're here to ask him, see what's going on in the career of him, and maybe tap into some other things if he's willing to do it. So, but
I'm up for anything.
Well, we've been hearing your name a lot on media from a former opponent of yours, and we saw the fight, and we know you beat him pretty easily. Charlie Z.
Yeah, Charles Aronoff.
Yeah, we know you whooped his ass pretty bad. We saw the fight, but we saw your name come up on social media where he was saying that he knocked you out and all kind of different things. And so I was like, that's not the way the fight went. So we wanted to put you on here and set the record straight. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, what happened, actually, the fight that he's talking about, it wasn't the actual pro fight. We was going to do what Kelly Pavlik would call a gym war.
Yeah.
And we found there was one gym, but he always got kicked out of, and they wouldn't let us basically spar in that gym with the video cameras or anything else, so they wouldn't let him back in because of some stuff that he did.
Yeah.
So we went to town Los Angeles on a Hollywood Boulevard.
Yeah.
And interest show in the gym. Just kind of raising money, for it and stuff. Well, so Frank Staya, we went in there and we talked to him. The guy was actually going to let us, do our sparring on the show as pro fighters.
Yeah.
We signed a waiver and all that. Well, the whole entire time we was waiting, Charlie came to the owner saying, "Hey, I have my own ref. I need you to do this. I'm going to be wearing this. I'm not going to wear that." But basically telling the owner of the gym what he was going to do.
Yeah.
And so the owner of the gym, he was that, you know, I mean, he was going to get his gym taken away because the insurance ain't going to cover anything, you know, that happens like that, which was understandable.
Yeah.
So, because Charlie was, you know, going crazy. So he called it off. Well, Angelique McQueen, who's also, I don't know if y'all know who she is.
Yeah, we know she is.
She's
Oscar's ex-wife.
Okay, so she offered for the fight to happen. You know, his dad was going to extend my flight because I was supposed to leave the next day.
Yeah.
And his dad was going to extend the flight for us to do this, you know, for Charlie to basically get revenge, you know what I mean? And for the house. Well, Charlie didn't want to do that. Charlie kept trying to call me out in the street and do a street fight.
Oh, wow.
And I said no, because, you know, for one, I'm not from Los Angeles, and I damn sure don't feel like going to jail over some idiot.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
Well, then it comes out I was getting undressed because I put my, you know, trunks on, and I was putting my other pants on, you know, because the guy called it off, and Charlie said, "Hey, come fight me on the street." And, you know, right when I said I'm not fighting you, because that's what his video shows,
Justin.
he sucker punched me with his glove on.
Well, he's known for that.
He's known for that. That's his MO, is punching people.
Yeah, that's what actually started the sucker
Open that
punching.
up.
I started the whole sucker punching when he did it to me. I was the first guy he did it to.
Wow.
And he didn't knock me out. There's actually a video that I can send to you to your message box on Facebook showing exactly everything from each angle. He never knocked me out. I never went down. The only thing that happened was when he hit me, some of my guys grabbed me and held me down,
Yes.
and his dad bitch slapped him upside the head and pushed him out the door and took him home. And then came back and was apologizing and all that. But that's exactly what happened. He never knocked me down. He never knocked me out. It was just the fact that I got put down because they didn't want a whole brawl started in the middle of a gym in front of kids because he wanted to be an ass. Which, you know I get most hated for it, but Kelly Padwick, I know that he respects that, you know, being in somebody else's gym, you just don't do things like that.
Yeah.
Well, Andrew, he's calling me out now, too.
He's calling.
Yeah.
So,
You know why he's doing it, don't you, Kelly? Because of me and you. Remember that one time on Facebook when things got fucking crazy, we was fucking around with each other, and people actually took us serious? Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can Google it on Facebook. You can Google it on Google, and an actual forum actually has everything from what you said to what I said to what Jessica said, all crazy night. So that's why Rufus has started doing it, because he's trying to follow my footsteps.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's he keeps blowing me up. I told him I ain't gonna fight him. We were trying to get him on the show, but he's good for calling people at 3 a.m. and like repeatedly. I don't know why he's up that late.
If you really want to work together, you know, because I've been trying to find ways to get my revenge on him sucker punching me. If you want, man, since I'm going to be kind of close to Ohio anyways, and you know Rufus Dessenball, so, you know, I'm going to fight him. When you get your gym ready, just call Charlie over there, and instead of him fighting you, you just have me in there, and I'll fight him.
Andrew, you know what? I just thought of an idea all right now. I took down I got his number, and this is going to be great because I want to talk shit to him too. How can I just try to call him real quick? You hold on and see if we can get a 3-way?
Yeah, I'll do that.
That way we can all talk shit to him.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's
I'll do
fine.
that.
Yeah, hold on 1 second.
All right.
Hey, while we're waiting here, I want to give Donald Leary a shout out for the show. One of the best trainers in the business today. He's training Brandon Rios for the big fight with Danny Garcia.
Oh, cool.
That's the homie right there, Donald. I bet he don't answer.
Yeah. He ain't got his trunk juice in there yet.
He's still asleep. He's on meth hours.
This son of a... All right, Andrew, he's not answering.
He'll call you 3.
Yeah, he'll call me at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
well, that's good, man. You fight, so you got a fight coming up then?
Yeah, I'm fighting Rufus Dessenball.
Yeah. In West Virginia.
King Yeah, I call him Rufus the Kangaroo Decibel.
Is that the horror? Is he
That's because on his last fight, his only pro fight, and he fought Jay Leon Love, he jumped around like a kangaroo.
So how's training? How's training going for you right now? How's camp?
Oh, it's going good.
Good.
Like I said, I've got PT tomorrow for my job. I gotta run a half a mile in 7 minutes, and then I gotta do 20 push-ups in 3 minutes, and then I gotta do 75 jumping jacks within 5 minutes. So.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's
Andrew,
my job.
Is that fight going to be at the Harv? Like, you know, if it's like Mountaineer Casino?
I believe so. Pappas is the one paying for the slot for it. Brian Pappas, he's paying for the slot for that fight. So
that might be actually.
Yeah, we got the T-shirt being sold to pay for both me and Rufus's purse and stuff like that. We have T-shirts on sale. Rufus Devenbois versus Andrew Hartley. They're actually pretty nice shirts.
That's awesome.
That's cool, man. Well, hey, that's awesome to hear and have you on, man. We're getting ready to wrap up the show. We've overdone it. So, hey, man, good luck, and we will have you back on. I like to square this shit up with Charlie Z. So.
Well, man, anytime, man, just hit me up, and if you get Charlie Z on there, I'll come on. I got some words for him anyways.
That sounds good, bro. So.
All right, man.
All right. Thanks, Andrew.
All right. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you for coming on, Andrew.
No problem.
All right. That was Andrew Hartley. And we also have, we've had a busy day today, and we have our new boxing writer coming on for 3 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Simon, he was coming on before we leave out. Also, I had a question. I did some, I got a message from Trevor Blaylock in my personal email. He wanted me to ask what are some of the things that Lomachenko and them guys were taking for like their supplements and things like that they take. I told him very little stuff, but what do they drink and eat? Part of their camp. Well, I got in touch with some of our guys over there with their camp, and they put me in touch with their marketing person. Let me see what I got here. This stuff.
Yeah.
They sent me some samples out for the people who want to know. Me and Kelly are not mid-level marketers. We don't sell. We don't do that. But for the people who want to know, they use this stuff it's by Valentis.com, and it's coffee. It's like it's literally like a coffee.
Who's this? South Lake Tahoe, California.
That's Simon. Just wait a second. We'll come back. But it's literally like a coffee, guys. Like this, and this is what they're taking. This is what they're taking in the mornings before their workouts, things like that. Because I guess but what it does is it helps cut the weight and keep the weight off in the mornings, what they're doing, So, like I said, they wanted us to, I found out what the stuff would be that they're using, and I wanted to share it. And if anybody's interested in it, like Trevor and them guys, if you're interested in it, you can get it from www.myvalentis.com/STU0529, and they will hook you up with a sample on it, guys. And that's exactly what some of these fighters are taking now for their coffee in the morning and their immunity and things like that. Like I said, we don't push any products. We don't do things like that. But I had the question, so I went out and I figured out what it is that they're what we're using. So if you guys are interested in cutting weight a little quicker and something in your coffee and things like that, try it out.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
And also we have Simon Rublikov, our new boxing writer, on. Hello?
Simon.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're on the air, man. You're on the punchline with Kelly Pavlik and James Dominguez, and now it should be called the punchline with Kelly Pavlik, James Dominguez, and Simon.
Simon Rublikov.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, guys. Like I said earlier, Simon's our new boxing writer. He's our boxing writer. He comes highly recommended. He was from Fight Hype, right? Is that right?
Yeah.
You work for Fight Hype. I can verify his credentials. He was Army. He was an Army boxing teammate of mine, and we went to basic training together too.
That's cool.
18 years ago? Well, 20 years ago.
20
years ago. What?
August of '97.
Fuck, dude. 20 years ago, we went to basic training together.
Oh,
Me and him were the only two boxers in that place, and we would actually train on, like, when everybody was using the phone to call family. We did road work. We said, "Fuck that." We ran.
Look, I can't talk. I turned pro almost.
I remember. Well, we were both like 100 pounds
Lighter. At least. I think I was walking around at 147. I was walking around at it.
Yeah, and I was 139, 140.
Yeah.
No.
And I was fighting at 39 at the time too. I think we were fighting at the same weight.
Yeah, at that time, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And you went to Germany, I went to Korea, and then.
Yep.
And then, yeah. And then, actually, years later, it was actually through Facebook because you're a Facebook whore.
I am a Facebook.
I saw a comment, or no, you saw a comment I said about something about when I was in the Army in Texas, and then you said, "Oh, you fought for Florida," and we started talking, and I was like, "Wait a minute, Dominguez." I said, "Are you the one we were in basic training with?"
Yeah.
So it was actually Facebook that reconnected us again.
You know, it was funny how we figured out. It was funny how Simon figured out that I was a boxer. We did those pugil sticks. You know those pugil sticks where they have the long sticks?
Yeah.
This fucking big dude was trying to hit me with it. I kept ducking I kept ducking and slipping his pugil sticks. And Simon goes, "Do you box?" I said, "Yeah, do you?"
yeah, and you from the head movement. Yeah. Bobbing and weaving, so the guy couldn't hit you.
We're like, but yeah, go ahead and tell us about yourself, Simon. Tell some of our listeners about you. And you know.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm from South Lake Tahoe, California. I now live in Sun Valley, Nevada, which is just outside of Reno. I started boxing when I was 10 years old, and ended up with 71 amateur fights. And I had 18 pro fights. Was on the journeyman level. But what happened before I turned pro, I was sparring Pernell Whitaker. So it was one of those things that the Duva Promotions was looking to sign me.
Yeah.
And they kind of, they took a while. So after a couple of months and I didn't hear from them, I just thought he was no longer interested. And I took a fight in California for Don Chargan, another promoter. And then actually Luke called me right before that and said, "Oh, well, you're in good hands. I wish you would have given me a little bit more time. And, we were working on your contract and your deal." So that's one of those things of what if, if I would have ever signed him, I think I would have had a different path. And then I ended up losing my pro debut. And then, in boxing, you lose that early in your career. I mean, it's just a tough road to bounce back. Yeah. People have done it before. And then, I made the mistake of turning pro at 135 when my body wasn't ready. So, and then I had a lingering shoulder injury after that. Once I got some momentum going in my career. So for whatever reason, it didn't work out. But I did get a chance to go to Big Bear training camps and was around a lot of people. Tried out for the Contender season 2, and what I heard a few years later from some NBC producer that they had a long conversation about me. So that was a possibility. So and then I started writing. And I first was a correspondent for the Tahoe Tribune, the local paper. Yeah. And then it was Fight Hype since 2007, and then just corresponded with few other people, websites. Had my last fight in August of 2013, and then a few months later ended up in the car business. So I'm now an assistant sales manager in Reno at a dealership.
Infinity, right?
Yeah, Infinity Reno. So
nice.
In fact, I'm just on break right now. I just told me I'll be back. But no, I got some cool people that I work for. So just to let them know, whatever else I got going on. Yeah. I got the fights, to cover the Raimundo Beltran fight February 16th, which is a stacked card here in Reno with Shakur Stevenson. And then one of Lomachenko's stablemates, who was also a gold medalist from Lithuania.
The Nail.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Roger's guy.
And then Bryant Jennings is on the card, the heavyweight. So it's a loaded card in ESPN, February 16th. And even Ricardo Lucio Calvan, a guy that I trained when he was about 9 or 10 years old. He's a pro, but he's getting a lot of attention. He's 1-0, but he's one of the dreamers. So he's fighting. He's a business student here at University of Nevada. Yeah. And he's with that whole DACA thing that's going on, and even Raimundo Beltran, who's on the main event, that he's fighting for his citizenship as well. So it's kind of one of those cards that's promoting. There's a large Hispanic and Mexican American
population of fighters in boxing.
Yeah.
And many of them are having the same fight. So there's going to be representation there for kind of the other side, because, you know, of course, being Hispanic myself, being of Mexican heritage, we're not really, there's not a bright light shed on us throughout society right now for the most part. So it's going to be one of those cards that's going to showcase talents of Hispanics, Americans, and as well as, you know, of every culture. You know, boxing doesn't stereotype or you know, or it isn't racism. So, you know, it's definitely, everybody has equal opportunity in boxing. So
either you can fight or you can't. It's simple. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. That's why, you know, like somebody asked me after one of my fights, because I used to, you know, have a tradition, just kneel down and pray, and they asked me if the praying helps, and I said, if you can fight good. So, but yeah, no. So it's, you know, it's one of those things that definitely, if it's the sport that will give you an outlet if you know, if you need one, if you have nothing else going on. Then there's enough people that are well-to-do that didn't need boxing in their life. They would have done well without it, but it ended up being a challenge for them. So you know, that's just and being a lifelong boxing guy. I think you'll see. I think when I start reading off dates and fights and fighters, you know, in the future, when I call in, if anybody thinks I have notes down or anything, I'm it's in my head.
That's how we do too. So, there are no notes here. I mean, other than our outline, we don't script anything.
I think it's better when you go from the head.
Yeah. It's crazy. I remember I was a spa manager when I got out of the Army at Caesars in Tahoe, and they would host fights. And I remember Terrence Lewis, the heavyweight from Philadelphia, he saw me working there, but he was staring at me. And then when I saw him back when he was working out, and I told him good luck, and I told him, I actually fight myself. I'm not on this card, but I'm an aspiring professional, about to have my pro debut. He's like, you know what? I thought so. He's like, why is it that fighters can look at each other and you just know this guy's a fighter? And so he was looking at me. He's like, you look like a fighter, but then I saw you were wearing the uniform and you work here. Yeah. So I thought, oh, okay, I don't know. And then when I told him, he was like, man, I knew you were a fighter just by looking at you. So,
yeah.
And that was. It's just we're a small fraternity, man. We all know each other.
We do.
Around there. And,
boxing is a very, very small fraternity, and either you're in or you're out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, and that's how you have to be, even as a fighter. I mean, you either train your ass off, or you just you get out of shape between fights and miss opportunities when you get the phone calls and all this. So it's definitely, what kind of fighter are you?
Yeah.
And it definitely reveals your true character. There was a couple students that I did a few years back. They were doing their senior project on boxing, so I was their mentor for the project, and I trained them. Yeah. Took them to the gym. I had them meet a few people in the industry, and that's one thing. When the newspaper covered them, somebody from the local newspaper heard what I was doing, and then did a feature on them. And what I said really is, your character is going to get exposed in there. You can lie all you want outside of the ring, but when you get in the ring, you're exposed. It's
true.
So
it's true. And what are your feelings on Errol Spence? What do you feel about?
Man, you know what? He dominated. One of the things leading up to the fight is when I broke it down, I honestly actually did think that Spence was going to dominate, because
so did I.
One of the things, it was a good fight on paper, but Lamont, when I was trying to break down, it was hard for me to fathom any way that Peterson was going to win the fight. I thought his only chance would be an injury to Spence, or Spence somehow not, being compromised where he wasn't going to be 100%. But all things being equal, I just thought Spence was the dominant fighter. But definitely, it's shaping up the welterweight division. People are counting out Thurman, I think, because they haven't seen him fight, but definitely don't count him out. But that looks like the fight. Of course, everybody's looking for the collision course between Bud Crawford and Errol Spence, but Spence is going to fight Thurman in the interim, and then I think Crawford should beat Jeff Horn, and then kind of just wait for the winner of Thurman and Spence. But that's not an easy fight.
No. See, on that again, that's where I'm a little different. Thurman just ain't really doing it for me right now. In that division. I mean, see, it's hard for me to explain. Like, I think he's could win one of the belts. Don't get me wrong, and he's obviously a champion, but I don't think he can beat. I don't think it's even a really close fight with him and Spence. I don't even think he beats a Porter right now. And as far as Crawford, I'd like to see what Crawford does at his first fight at 147. You know,
exactly. I would like to.
Yeah, and the people clamoring for, and that's what Terrence Crawford has said is that what Errol has said. Crawford's a beast at 140, but we don't know what he can do at 147. The extra weight is in fighting bigger guys. You got to think, how much weight are they dropping to make 147? You might have a 160 pounder that makes 140.
Well, Errol walks around at a solid 75 or 80.
Yeah,
Errol's a big kid.
Yeah, with Thurman, I wouldn't count him out only because I've heard about him since he was 16 years old through Joey Gilbert, who was trained with Dan Birmingham, and he used to tell me there's this kid in there that's just you're going to hear about him, and that was when Chad Dawson was in the Dan Birmingham camp, and also I sort of kept an eye on Thurman, and although his power doesn't seem to carry him in the bigger fights against the elite fighters anymore, he's not one punch and you're out. I think this rest time may have rejuvenated him. But it's gonna be interesting to see the way he comes back. But yeah, I'm not counting him out. I think Spence will be the favorite, rightfully so.
Yeah,
probably has the advantage. But I wouldn't count out Thurman enough. And most people just think he'll get by easy. And then Thurman, Crawford will do his thing, and then that'll line up the collision course. Yeah. There's so many fights to be made. Hopefully, we get Wilder and Joshua this year or early next year, because I'm still one of the believers that how goes the heavyweight division is how boxing goes. And right now, heavyweight division's alive and well, and so is boxing getting a revival. We had all those years of the Klitschko's.
This is only January. I'm hoping to fight.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is only January. I'm hoping Joshua and Wilder fight before 2019.
No, hopefully. And if, Parker, Joshua should get by Parker, and then Wilder should take care of his business. And if, that's going to be a huge fight. And it's probably going to be in the UK. Historically, remember when Billy Schwer fought Rafael Ruelas at that time?
That was even...
Schwer was, British fighters coming to America to challenge for the title were like 0-35 leading up to that. And it just used to be, they're good fighters in the UK, but once they fight the Americans, they don't do well. And then
you're gonna get us cussed out in a minute by some of these guys.
All right.
We have a big following.
Thanks for having me on. And
no, you're exactly right. I've said that before. That there's always a disconnect between the American and British fighters. It's style. It's something in the styles.
Yeah, but now in the last especially the last 5 to 7 years, I really it's not a given that they have to come to America. It seems we're going to have to go to the UK to start winning or challenging for these titles.
They're paying a lot better. They're sure the hell paying better.
And the crowds are buying it, and the promotion. Eddie Hearn is an awesome promoter and a young guy that a lot of people like. So, they're definitely boxing is booming there, especially. It's one of those things that we're going to have to start going there to try to win the titles instead of expecting them to always come to Vegas.
The thing is this, Simon. A lot of these British fans, they're not fucking fickle. They love the fighter no matter what, win or loss. Mm-hmm. They love their fighter.
Oh yeah.
Here. Yeah. You get 2 losses on your record. You're overhyped and everything else right away. Do you know what I mean? Did you ever?
No. And then covering boxing, whenever I did a Ricky Hatton fight or Manny Pacquiao, you get these people from these poor nations that put the money together and they'll travel across the world to go watch their guy fight. I remember I fought once in Sacramento, coming from Lake Tahoe. Sacramento, California is like a 2-hour drive from Tahoe. So when I told people I'm fighting in Sacramento, let me know when you fight closer. I'm not going to fight any closer unless I'm fighting here. My own time. So people wouldn't drive 2 hours to watch and fight, and then people from fans of other fighters from other countries will fly over from across the world to contend. And when I was at the Paulie Malignaggi, Ricky Hatton, I've never seen. They start drinking whatever time they wake up at. At the bars at 8 in the morning.
At the Lomachenko fight, everybody is from fucking England or Kazakhstan, weren't they?
Yeah.
It's huge.
Ukraine.
They bring people from over the pond, the UK guys.
And I'll tell you what, the biggest group of fans you have are British.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, they're the enthusiasm. If you stay on the same hotel room floor for the week of the fight, it makes it hard to sleep. They have a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
But they support their fighters, and when a fighter comes from UK, and it goes back actually, what changed the momentum was Lennox Lewis and Prince Nassim Hamed in that era, when Hamed kind of invaded the U.S. started with the Kevin Kelly fight, the great fight.
Yeah.
And then when Lennox Lewis unified with Holyfield, and I think so many people felt bad for him for getting the draw. That we were apologetic. And it actually hurt Holyfield because in the rematch, many people thought Holyfield won the rematch, but there was no way he was going to get the decision.
True.
So, yeah, I mean, but that kind of changed the momentum, and since then, the European fighters have dominated the scene more.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and and like I said, we're really looking forward to having you write for us, and you have free reign to write whatever you want. You can write backstories about Kelly.
It'll be interesting to see.
I look forward to it. So, and also, James, I told you I was going to get on you, but I got a beef with you because you made fun of people of these 6'2" chicks, and I happen to be seeing a chick right now that's 6'2", but she's not a size 13.
Was that the one about the chicks? That chick he's saying, where am I going to match? You're not.
I'll find a chick 6'2".
Dude, Jamie Lynn 6'2".
6'3". That's Damon's girl.
It's all right, man. If we ever have a tour where he's going to be a big boy, but I'll have a heavyweight champ.
It's about time. First Mexican champ.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah.
All right,
but thanks for having me on. I know we're against the clock, and it got a little late, but man, it was nice hearing, especially from Joe Goossen's talk, man.
I know.
I remember that fight where he motivated Willis with, and that's the thing. Too many cornermen panic when their fight's in danger, and to motivate somebody to have the confidence to just get back out there. And
you remember when he fought Oscar? You remember when Joe fought Oscar? He's like, all right, you took a little shot, you took a little ding. What I don't want you to do is like, oh, shit. Oscar literally tore his fucking head off. You took a little shot, you got a little ding. I go, dude, that is a cool fucking customer.
Yeah.
Well,
everybody saw the Brandon Rios, the Freddie Roach and Robert Garcia thing that happened there and before he fought Pacquiao, but people didn't know back in the day when Oscar De La Hoya and Rafael Ramos were in training camp. I guess Goossen showed up and De La Hoya's workout ran a little late, and then he pulled them aside to kind of have a beef with hey, what the hell are you guys doing? That was pre internet and social media days, but so much happened back in the day that is just memory for a lot of people.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, and I look forward to sharing a lot of that in my writing and along with reports and recaps and what's upcoming. So thanks for having me on. Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
We appreciate it, Simon.
And can you let people know where they can your social media, where they can find you and ask you questions and things like that?
Yeah. My Twitter is Mr_Boxing. MISTER_boxing, and it's not me calling myself Mr. Boxing. My very first coach, Ted Walker, was everything: a trainer, manager, promoter, fight proprietor, training camp proprietor, all that. Yeah. So he was introduced once by Michael Buffer as Mr. Boxing. Okay. So I use that name in honor of him, not an ego thing of me. And then just Simon Rocava on Facebook. I don't have an Instagram yet, but and then Snapchat, I'm Tahoe Pro Box.
Okay.
And I think that's all I have.
All right, and I will talk to you soon, and we will talk soon, and we look forward to having you on the show often.
Right. So anytime.
For sure, man. Definitely. Thanks.
Hey, thanks a lot, Kelly.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate it.
And thanks, James. We'll talk later.
All right.
Yep.
Bye. All right, guys. That was it.
Yeah. Well, I gotta answer. It's gonna be interesting with Simon. He does a great job, and it's gonna make the show even better, as far as material and everything.
Yeah.
I want to answer one quick YouTube question to Kaylin Swanson. he asked, if there was any pre-workouts I'd take. I don't know if he's talking about when I was fighting.
I think both.
Or both, but when I was fighting, there's a lot of shit out there you can do. I worked off my meals, and but there's a lot of things you could take without even having to buy pre-workout stuff. You could take that emergency, which got all the vitamin B's, and now they're finding in studies that vitamin C is actually a great pre-workout because it also gives energy, and it just helps the body perform better, which I could make sense because of all the what it does for the immune system, and it just upkeeps the body. Lifting now here and there, I mess around with stuff. A lot of stuff out there, is money makers and scams. But that gym pre-workout I take, but I found to eat shit too. Also, eating the right foods. You could even Google it this day and age, like what's a natural nitric oxide. That has take food like beets. Thins the blood, gives energy, gives you the pumps. If you want to be on the safe side. But pre-workout wise, here I'm screwing around with one now from Primal Labs, Adrenal Rush, and I like it a lot, and it does good for me. But that's about it. I'm more into I take the protein after, and again, protein shakes don't substitute for food, but what it is, like it takes me a 25-minute drive to get home, and chances sometimes I don't even eat for an hour or 2 hours after I work out. So that's just kind of like maintaining everything and holding me over. So,
well, I mean, it's working for you, whatever it is. I'm going to try this Valentis stuff. I think if it's good enough for those guys, I'm going to try it out myself. It looks pretty good. Yeah. And anything that takes the food pains away from one, in the morning, especially me that's doing the
speaking of which, I'm
the fasting.
Yeah, I'm starting to diet. I'm going to try it out.
Yeah, I'm doing the fasting.
Yeah, Olive Garden diet.
I'm tweaking this one. Yeah, but you know what? I'm going to cheat. I already said.
You're Italian. You're going to cheat on Boston bread.
But I'm going to substitute. But there's like 7 meals a day you eat, and a lot of high protein, very high protein, and your fat, your good fats, like almonds and Brazil nuts and vegetables. Yeah. But we're gonna try it out, man.
We'll see it. Melissa DeValentine, one of our good friends, she said, any thoughts on Jorge Linares, Mercito Gesta this weekend? I've worked with Mercito Gesta, and I'm rooting for him. It's going to be a tough night. I think it's going to be a tough night for Mercito Gesta, to be honest with you.
That's what I was just going to say, dude.
I
haven't seen Mercito fight a couple times, and
he lost big.
And Jorge, he could fight.
Jorge is getting better and better.
Yeah,
and I think you're letting your heart override your brain, Melissa. God bless you. Mike Elliott said, I'm backing Thurman, but he's really got a fight on his hands if he fights Spence.
Mike Elliott, a good dude. He's from around there. He's been around boxing for a long time. He's
from the O.
Yeah. The outskirts.
Thurman, I don't think the problem with Thurman is physical. I think the problem with Thurman's mental right now. I don't think he's in it,
Yeah, again,
he's getting some good pussy riding those elephants and talking to Buddha, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I may be wrong on this, and I'm not really that many times wrong. I've been wrong plenty of times, but I was saying that I'm just not. I don't think Thurman is what people think he is. Yeah, I don't think he competes with a Spence. And if Crawford, right now the first fight, I think it would be dangerous for Crawford to fight a Thurman at 147.
I think Crawford beats Thurman.
But give Crawford a fight or two at 147, I think he wins that fight probably easily.
I know people are worried about Crawford moving up. Crawford's a big dude. He really is a big guy, and I think he can carry 47.
I don't think frame-wise that he's that big. But
I think he can carry 47. I think he's bigger than some of the welterweights out there.
7 pounds is big, though.
It is
big difference.
I think his power, too, will carry him through 47. Yeah. Maybe 54, we're getting a little shaky now. But 47, I think he can handle that power still. Look at the way he's knocked people out. Those aren't knockdowns where they slip and fall. Those are knockdowns where they're put away.
He's got all the tools, and again, he may be very good at 140. I'm not saying that he's not, and again, I'm not saying he's not going to carry the power.
Yeah.
But how it works in boxing, you gotta let him. You gotta see before you can make any big judgment on that. The thing is, he's going into a heated weight class, the best weight class in boxing in some years, I think.
True.
And
next week, Robert Garcia.
we got Robert on. I got a hold of him, and he said that he will do it. Unfortunately, we were going to have him today.
And Mikey,
what a fucking show with Goossen and
Robert.
But
we would have put them fuckers on three-way and let them talk it out.
Yeah, but
and you guys would have had experience for a lifetime.
Exactly.
But the thing is, he had to go to New York. The whole Mikey thing, they're redoing that. Hopefully, we get Mikey on sometime. I know Mikey's swamped with a lot of things going on.
I may try to reach out to Mikey again. If I don't, you probably can.
Yeah.
One or the other.
Well, I know he's swamped. I mean, and then I've been reading about. I was reading about Mikey calling out Spence. Now, I know, I love Mikey.
Yeah,
his family does. I know, but maybe that's not the route I would want to go for Mikey right now. Is Errol Spence? I think Errol Spence might be just a little too big right now.
Yeah, 140. I have no
35.
problem. No, if it was that, 140. 147 right now.
I think 47. He could be in 47. I just don't think Errol Spence is that. It's just a little too big in 47. He's just a big guy.
He's huge.
I would like to see Mikey. Maybe Crawford. I'd like to see him with Crawford. Linares, Crawford. Maybe Pacquiao. Fuck, even Pacquiao. Get a goodbye ass whooping on his way out by Mikey. You know what I mean?
Pacquiao had a goodbye. He didn't get his ass whooped, but he didn't. It wasn't Pacquiao at all.
No, but I didn't really. I really thought he beat Horn still.
Oh, I did too. But that fight was 4 years earlier. Hey, Rebecca. What? My name's Skip.
Rebecca. She has hot cocoa in there. You are damn hot cocoa.
I want some damn hot cocoa.
She's gonna send us some more.
Okay.
She's gonna send us some more.
Oh, did she send you that?
Uh-huh.
Rebecca. Send more.
She said she's gonna send more. She's gonna send some more out.
Yeah. I want to try it. Curious.
Well, you can try this too.
Is there any nutrition facts on there?
Yeah. Well, the coffee, bro, is because you're a coffee drinker.
Yeah.
And it gets you. What it does is it gets you hyped up for coffee. It's like a pre-workout in your coffee. That's what it is.
Bad at the gym, like, fuck.
Terry, Kelly's tearing this whole gym apart. Fuck.
I ain't getting no pump.
Lonnie. Hey, Lonnie wanted me to know that he got my shirt.
Oh yeah, hey Lonnie.
Hey Lonnie, it only took you a year, but thank you, bro. I appreciate it.
I'm gonna give this shit to you. Let's see if you put up. Let's see if you get 575 on the bench.
Let's see if you can pick up the building, Lonnie.
Yeah, that motherfucker grabbed me, dude. I'm 200. I'm 240 now.
She said it's all natural.
Sweet. Yeah, get some more of this. I'm 240, and this cat the other day we were doing a thing in like a drill, and he like literally.
Delilah
picked me up and
the coffee is amazing. Try it. It is really good. It's like a pre-workout. So good, and you don't have to eat on it. Delilah,
but you know what? Let us get our stuff first. You sit back and you relax before I unleash the guns.
Unleash. I would love for you to punch Delilah in the face.
Oh, I love Delilah.
I love Delilah too. To punch her in the face.
Yeah, I do got hands for everybody. But.
You know what? Let me tell you what Delilah is. She's a mean asshole. I'll be chilling out and I'll put one of my memes and she'll get on there and say, "You need meds."
I don't know, dude. I mean, some of the memes.
Did you get the memes I sent you today?
No, I did not.
Dude, your phone is fucking.
Hey, I got my shit fixed again. We're talking to my producer now. Hey, we got to look at this real quick because I tried texting you and I fucked up again, but they fixed it for a minute and it keeps jumping back.
I'll fix it for you.
But. All right. Well, anyways.
Any questions, guys, before we head out?
I got to piss.
All right. That's it for questions.
Yeah. Save the questions, or maybe we can hop back on. Hi, Ricky. Ricky's back on.
Ricky, thank you, bro.
We'll answer questions we usually do at night.
Yeah, hit us up on the page for questions and things, and we'll text you personally.
Yeah. Thanks for listening. Next week's going to be another great show.
Robert Garcia.
Yeah, Robert Garcia. And
we got Macklin or Conlon.
We're going to try for like Macklin and Conlon. Maybe even both of them.
Or maybe Jesse Vargas.
Just stay tuned.
It's going to be somebody fucking cool.
Yeah, like we got Robert for sure.
It's going to be somebody badass.
We're going to try and pop it out there at least 2 days before. Again, the show is unscripted, and I think that makes it great because we can surprise you guys.
Yeah.
We may eventually get a fucking hold of Charlie Z.
Yeah, and also, the week after that will be our Technique Tuesday, and we will be showing the Peterson Spence technique, what made them so successful and not successful.
And I'll be doing that, showing you on our producer, Justin.
Justin's going to be volunteering as the punch dummy. But
yes, and probably maybe coming soon, which I got to talk with the team about here.
Oh, TV show.
We may be having some cool shit coming up. We're keeping our fingers crossed. It's all moving in the right direction right now, but we will keep you guys posted on that. And you may want to tune in and see what happens. So,
some people want to know how much that stuff costs that you.
I don't know, Rebecca.
Rebecca does
let me give the name so you guys can Google it.
It is www.myvalentis.com/STU0529. She will, like I said, she works with a lot of the fighters out there, so she'll give you one of the fighters' discounts, whatever it is.
Or go type that in. Is there anything else with just type that in?
Do the
Google it.
Have them do the backslash for her, so it gets her.
Just put Google in there. Oh, for who?
For her, so backslash is a her, because she's the marketing person. She's the one that could hook them up, not just the whole company.
Yeah, sorry about that, Rebecca. I didn't know what was going on. Very top.
Like I said, guys, we're not marketing people. We don't sell. That's not what this is.
The very top.
It was a question for Trevor, but if you guys are interested, it's more power to you guys. It's open for you guys too. A lot of the Russian guys are using it. Some of the other guys are using it for weight cut. So
I thought I said my Valley Nuts.
If it's working for them, it's Valentis.
A
lot of these Russian guys are using it for their weight cuts. So if it's working for them, it'll work for you.
Thanks, Rebecca. We truly appreciate it, hon. I'm gonna give it a shout.
And what else we got? That's it. And then
we got closure time.
And if you guys have any questions, go ahead and hit us up on the page, and we will answer them. And thank you to Joe Goossen, Andrew Hartley, Aaron for coming on.
Yes, that was truly cool to have Aaron on. That was awesome.
She wants to come on all the time now. We got a famous comedian on here.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck?
She was cool.
She's funny. Aaron and Simon.
Yes, well, Simon's going to be on all the time too.
But
Simon's a good dude.
And like I said, guys, this is your guys' show, not ours. So let us know what you guys want. Let us know what you want to talk about, and that's what we're here for. So
cool dude.
All the best, and we'll see you next week.